Going on, guys? We're here. We're live. Welcome to a brand new Poker Live podcast. My name is Joe Ingram, one, aka Chicago Joey, aka Jose Ingram one. We're joined today by a young man who is a very long time high stakes PLO player. He plays the game that I know and I love. I'll never forget Liqqa because he has beaten me in the biggest pot I ever played in my entire life, $91,000, and it was a six-way all-in at 5,100. Shout out to Gila Liberté. Liqqa was the beneficiary of that hand, and he's a former card runners coach. I don't think you still make card runners videos. Do you still make those videos for PLO?
Oh, no, I stopped 3-4 years ago, I think.
Okay, former card runners coach, still plays some high stakes PLO, but mainly focusing on the exciting world of sports betting and working on a business. He's got his product. He's got his Norwegian accent. He's got the traveling, a lot of chess, and we're excited to have him on the podcast. We're going to talk some PLO, talk some sports betting. We have Jonas. I don't want to say your last name wrong, aka Liqqa. Jonas, how do I say your last name, Jonas?
Oh, in Norwegian we say Gjelstad, but it works.
Yeah, okay. It doesn't look like Gjelstad. I got to be honest with you. That would have been my my 15th guess I used to try to say your last name.
Yeah, I mean, it's different. It's difficult with the way we pronounce each letter and stuff like that. It's so unnatural for all English-speaking people to pronounce my name, so I'm quite used to that.
All right, we got Liqqa on the podcast today, aka Jonas. Welcome to the podcast, buddy. How are you doing? How's poker going, man? You say you're not playing much poker anymore these days, right?
Yeah, I mean, I played some poker this week because I had to play some in order to cash out from Stars. They weren't happy with the transfers I've gotten. So I played 5,000 hands of 2-5 Zoom, and I managed to win $12,000. Running just like in the old times.
So you decided to play, or you had to play rather, to cash out money on Stars.
Yeah, I needed some money.
I made a bonus $12,000.
Yeah. I find that the Zoom pools is quite good nowadays. Or they seem to be. Like, you have a couple of regs playing 4 tables, but none of them is really beating 5-10 plus, I think. Some of them are, and there's a ton of recreational players, so I think there's still money to be made there.
So you think the 2-5 Zoom pool on PokerStars right now for PLO is still pretty good?
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, I haven't done any work with my game for the last year. I played some to start with, but then the sports betting started going well, so I just want to focus on that instead.
Well, you've been a winning PLO player for quite a long time, haven't you?
I don't know if I was winning to start with when I played 6 max, but I run 200K, so it was a bit easier to make money.
You ran 200K above EV?
Yeah, when I started playing the 50, 100, and 100, 200 games. I mean, I learned 6 max pretty much from playing 25, 50, just jumping into that, and I didn't used to even play that high when I played heads up. But it was, I think it was quite easy back then because of the short stacking. You could just buy in 30 bigs, and people didn't seem to adapt or do anything.
God, I forgot about you and your goddamn fucking short stacking at the 6. I fucking hated you so much when you would fucking short stack the fucking games then, man. I hated it so fucking much. Whew, sorry, getting fired up, man. You used to short, but you were like one of those good short stackers that ran good. I hate it. Like, you're like the worst kind of short stacker. You were good. You know how to take advantage of people who are taking advantage of the fun players. You ran really good, and you could still play deep. So it was like the worst kind of short stacker to fucking see at the 10, 20, 25, 50 games back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, if you think I'm good when I have 15, 20% BP, that's fine. But I think I was way too tight. But I just would rather want to be on the tighter side of the game when I'm sort of learning a new aspect of the game. So it made sense for me to be tight, but still, I also made some money, so I was just happy continuing doing what I'm doing as long as I was able to make money.
Yeah, I think the problem for me was that I never really adjusted to the tightness of guys like you or O'Crop TI. Like, these short stackers are playing so nitty, and I'm still like, oh, he's a short stacker. He's probably just 3-betting me pretty wide. He's only got this many big blinds. I'm going to make a call or go all in here pre-flop with a speculative hand that, in retrospect, I never would have gone all in with. So you're just making a ton of money off guys like me who are focusing on playing 100 big blinds deep and that dynamic with other regulars instead of thinking about, all right, like, I got this short stacker here behind me, which I feel like these things are more thought of this day in online poker. But back in 2011 or whatever, 2012, like, this just wasn't this wasn't a big concern, I think, for a bunch of players.
No, but you also got to look at the difference between playing 30 bigs like we were back then and playing 40 or 50 bigs like this. It's completely different game. Bigs.
I don't really want to get into the differences between the short stacks because we're gonna give birth to many different short stackers now out there in the world. So
it's not proper stack anymore.
It's not proper to short stack anymore?
Everyone should just go in 100 bigs.
Yeah, I completely agree. Guys on Twitch, guys on YouTube, if you have any questions, comments, let me know. For those who don't know Liqqa, I sort of explained him at the beginning. Long-time high-stakes PLO player. Mainly played heads up, I believe, for a long time, then switched over to six max, did well, got into professional sports betting, and now he's mainly focusing on that. So I think that's like the 20-second rundown. What would you say to people if people ask you, if you meet a nice woman or you meet some friends of friends or family and they say, you know, what are you doing, Jonas? What do you do with yourself right now? What would you say you do?
I would say I'm running a startup.
Tell us more about the startup then.
Okay, so the startup is something called EdgeBet. What we do is we help people put money on profitable bets. And I mean, nowadays it's so easy. It's the way like short stacking PLO was a couple of years ago. So what we basically do is we find deviation from the Asian market, which is the most accurate market you can find, like look at odds on. So we just look for deviations, then we can calculate what your expected return is going to be on each bet. We can even calculate how much we would recommend you to put on a bet depending on the edge and the odds. And everything is now automized, and we update the odds every 5th second, so it's quite up to date. And I mean, it's just smooth sailing. It's just what I'm selling is too good to be true, and that's the problem we have. So people with sports bet is so high on themselves. If they think a team is going to win, regardless of how good of a bet I can come up with, but it's against their own will, like what they think themselves, they would never put the money on. That's a struggle.
You ever seen the show American Greed, Jonas?
No, I haven't. What's that?
Let me tell you about the show American Greed. American Greed is a show on CNBC. Here, shout out to CNBC, where the story always starts off with, this guy told me this is too good to be true. When he told it to me, I said to myself, this is too good to be true. And then they get into the story about how the guy took him for $25 million or something like that, a cumulative effort. He goes to prison. They search for him. He buys all these flashy things. This is how I've heard many American Greed episodes start here in America when someone says that description, too good to be true.
Oh, fuck's sake. I'm going to prison then.
I hope so, man. I mean, I hope not. I hope not. I take it back. Shout out to your parents. I know they're watching.
All right.
I hope you're not going to prison, man.
Okay, thank you for that.
So I think, when did you get started doing this? I remember when I saw you last November when the infamous GTO was brought to my life. You were talking about it then.
Yeah, so that was during the November 9 last year. We were there with Felix. So after Vegas, we went to LA and we launched by the end of the LA trip. So we've been up and running for about a year now.
So up and running for a year. And so you still actively sports bet yourself. That's like sort of what your main focus is now.
Oh yeah, like sports betting and like working on with EdgeBet. That's basically all I'm doing apart from spending time with my girlfriend, friends, traveling. But I always add in some work even though I'm traveling.
Is your girlfriend the young British girl? Is she British?
She has lived in London for 5 years, but she's from Romania.
Oh. I've seen her before, haven't I?
Yeah, you have.
She's that really attractive girl, right? Oh, yeah. Okay.
I don't think so.
Living large over there, kid. How's it feel, man? How's it feel?
Feels fucking amazing. And life's good. Can't complain.
Shout out to her if she's watching this right now. Sukamimi LOL on Twitch says, I think this is the first thing I thought too. He says, if this is too good to be true, why do you or they not just put huge amounts of money into it? Why would you sell the information to other people? That's the first thing I was thinking of. So if you're making money at sports betting or you're doing really well, allegedly, why would you sell the information or put the information out there to other people to buy?
Yeah, that's a good question. So how the European bookmakers works, like Bet365, Unibet, William Hill, and all of those bookmakers, once they see the formula you're using is profitable, they will lower your betting limits. I've lowered all of my betting accounts has now been practically shut down. I can only put on like a couple of dollars on each bet. And because I dropped out of school, I now want to create a CV for myself, and that's kind of my passion right now, because I want to try to change the sports betting industry, and I think I can do that with if a lot of people start using EdgeBet, because the bookmakers would have to adjust. They can't just cherry pick which book I use more, and that's hopefully a change that could work.
There's a little bit of lag on your end, so you're sort of cutting in and out. Are you on Wi-Fi or do you have internet over there?
I use Wi-Fi. I closed. I had some streams open. Maybe that's not the smartest thing to do.
Yeah.
Is it better now?
Let's see. Yeah, I can still hear a little bit of echo on my end.
I have speakers on though. Is that a problem?
Yeah, turn them down just a little bit.
Yeah. Is this better? Talk.
A little bit. Yeah, I can still hear myself just a little bit.
Okay, I'll find myself some headset. Give me a second.
No problem. We are live, guys. Sometimes we got to get things figured out.
From how you're using this problem.
I think it's working still fine. I'll get some shout outs here while Jonas is getting situated. Joe Torn on YouTube. What up, puppy? What up, buddy? Liam Kavanaugh. What up, Liam? Powell. What was it? Yeah, that's a sick name. All right.
All right, let's try this out.
All right, good. Your audio sounds good. Perfect.
Cool.
All right, so are you a big Haralbob Vulgaris fan, former guest of the podcast, friend of the podcast, who's really big in the sports betting world?
I mean, he's the legend. He's the best. One day I'll be better, but that would be my goal.
He mentioned on the podcast with him that he has to use different accounts or different people to sports bet for him. He's got like his mules where he tells them to bet and stuff like that. Are you to that level yet where you have other people sort of taking care of business because you can't personally put that much action in place?
Yeah, I mean, I buy some action from others. It just practically the same as staking in poker. So I'll buy some just that I educate them, and I'll buy some pieces in them.
Oh, so
instead
you
of taking all the risk. I just buy some pieces.
So, for instance, I would come to you and be like, "Hey, I have $2,000 to bet." You would take what, like 25% or something like that, and you'd give me the pick?
I would go more long term though. So most of my friends, they have played poker before. They have some money now. They might not have the money online, so I can send them, let's say, 50K online, and if we'll win like 100K over the next year, I'll get 50K and they get 50K each. If, however, they lose all the money, we split it 25K each. So it's like a long-term deal, and for everyone that I go together with, I expect them to put in at least 60 hours a week.
So they put in the money on their end. What they put in the time. So what do they put in the time in themselves?
So they put in the time, and I'll put in the money, and it's sort of a loan. But I mean, I haven't lost with practically anyone yet, so it's always been just smooth sailing. I don't know.
Interesting. But what do you mean by they put in the time? They put in the time going to find the bets, or they put in the time on the information? What do they put the time in for exactly?
Yes, they put in the time to find the bets and to put the money, and I put the bets on because I'm not able to do that myself. And they need to be available in case I find some bets that I like. I just tell them like, hey, put some money on, for example, +7 at 195, and they'll put on the money.
And there's been it's just been a Nano Noko pre 2014 graph for you, just sort of going straight up sort of thing, or what?
Yeah, it's been sort of, how can you say that? When it goes like exponential, so it just increases. So it's been ridiculous so far.
So that's why you don't need to play much poker anymore, it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm having by far my best year now. And I mean, it's not always been smooth sailing though. There was one instance where one guy was betting for me, and I sent him $35,000, and he decided to have some casino and blew it all. But eventually, like within a year, he paid me back all of that money, so I ended well.
How do you decide who to go into this with? So how do you decide? I'm sure everyone wants to make money these days. So I'm sure you have people that are saying, "Hey, let me do this or let me do that." How do you decide who to work with in that instance?
I would like to work with people that I know have the passion and time, because it's so demanding. For example,
What is this lag? This lag is getting a little bit bad here. Do you you said you're on Wi-Fi right now, Jonas?
so I'm on Wi-Fi, but I don't have any other possibility because there's no camera on my laptop apparently. On my grinding computer, even though there is. But I tried to make that work earlier. I'll shut off the other computer.
See if that works. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine back on replay for people on YouTube, but on Twitch right now, it's I'm sure they're hearing the same thing I'm hearing.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's so bad, the internet in London.
Is it? Isn't it supposed to be like one of the best cities in Europe? Is that not true?
So the best internet connection I was able to get was like 15 megabytes or something. They say they can get fiber, so I order fiber, and then when the day comes and they're gonna give me fiber, they told me like, no, we need to do some digging. Sorry, we won't be able to do that. So here I am with this shady internet and no ways to improve it. Still haven't heard back from them.
I'd be very, very tilted.
Yeah. Okay, I might lose you for a second. Let me try this.
Okay. Casey's Hub says, I live in London. Casey's Hub, confirm or deny internet's bad there.
So all right. I realized I had VPN on from watching the Norwegian Poker Championship.
So you had the VPN on. That probably is going to make that's probably going to make the internet connection a little bit worse.
Yeah, I think so. So there's, I don't know if you know about that, but there's a Norwegian Poker Championship ongoing now. It's the first time in Norway.
It's the first time they have a big live poker series in Norway.
Yeah, I mean it's been going on for years, but we have always had to travel out of Norway because poker and casinos is illegal in Norway.
And now they changed the laws where you can actually do the live poker itself on Norwegian soil.
Yeah, it's really limited though. So we're only allowed to have tournaments with up to $100 in buy-in and maximum 10 people if you're playing in a home game. Apart from this Norwegian Championship now, they put up like, how much is that in dollars? Like $600 tournament, and it got over 2K runners, like close to 2K runners.
So in a home game, what do you mean a home game? You can only have $100 maximum.
Oh yeah, okay. So if you're playing poker in Norway now, it's sort of going to be legalized, but it's not legalized yet. So the rules are right now you're allowed to play at home, but you can only play tournaments, and you can have a maximum buy-in of $100 and a maximum prize pool of $1,000. If not, and if the police comes, they can give you a fine, and if they see you organize anything like underground poker club, I think you can get sent to prison, but I don't think there's been much things happening about that.
Sounds kind of scary, I guess.
Yeah, so for the tournament that is now, it is, let's use $500 because it's easier for me to calculate. So it's $500 buy-in, and $50 goes to rake. Now $50 go to a charity, and $25 go to like the organizers. It's actually PokerStars that's organizing all of this.
Is that a lot of rake for a $500 tournament?
I mean, it's 75. That's, how much is that? It's 12.5% or 15%. But it's tax-free at least, and the field is super soft.
I don't really know too many Norwegian fun players online. Are there, as in general, as the Norwegian poker players, are they not that good live right now just because they probably haven't played that much live and there hasn't been really much live poker there? Or do you feel like the level is pretty high there?
The level is super low. I mean, if you see a Norwegian guy playing online who's not a regular, you always know it's a fish, or pretty much. and I've been doing quite well in the Norwegian Championships. That's been in Dublin before, but yeah, I mean, it's super low super low. It's like 2009 standards.
Wow. Okay. Norway sounds like a fun place, except it's cold most of the year, right? And it's pretty dark outside.
Oh yeah, no, it's the dark season and winter season. It's like a couple of hours or depending where you go. If you go up to Odsen and Skjervøy countries, like cities, it's like a couple of hours with the daylight.
Are you? Are those guys your better poker friends or Odsen? I think when I met you, you were with who are you with? You were with Felix Stephenson. Shout out to Felix, by the way. I know Felix is watching. Poppy, I gotta give him a shout out, man. We had fun this summer. Felix, Odsen, Iseldrun. Are you friends with those guys, or do you have other poker friends that you're mainly better friends with?
Yeah, I mean, I talk a lot with. I used to live with Felix for 4 years, so I guess I was closest with Felix. And apart from that, I hang out with mostly other poker players because there's not too many of the Norwegian ones in London. So I guess it's like Iseldrun, Felix, and some other poker players from Norway that I speak with. Not so much with Odsen and Skjervøy, even though I talk with them also occasionally. Do
you use the term GTO as much as Odsen and Iseldrun do in their regular daily life?
I don't think that's possible, and I don't think it's healthy.
So I didn't even know. So GTO, I use this term a lot in the podcast and anything I do now. And I got it because we're at dinner in Vegas, and Odsen's talking about ordering. When these guys go out to eat, they like to order the whole entire fucking menu. So they just get one of everything on the menu. And I don't know, my voice is being lost apparently while on the podcast. So we're just going to do this with hoarse voice. And they're ordering food, and they go, all right, we'll just get one of everything. I think that'll be GTO. Leo, that's GTO, right? And I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you mean that's GTO? And then they inform me that GTO can then be used to describe anything. Like, oh, this tank top, that's GTO, or this necklace, that's GTO. And ever since that point, I've become addicted to using the word GTO. So I'm just glad you don't use it as much as I do or they do, because people don't know what the word means.
No, I understand that. Like, I don't think they have a sentence anymore without mentioning GTO. Whether it is GTO or not GTO, it always have to be like specified.
That's true. Like, oh, I'm gonna go talk to that girl. That girl is she looks very GTO, doesn't she, Joe? I'm like, what do you? I'm like, yeah, I guess she looks pretty GTO. So.
Oh man, I remember that night.
What do you remember about that night? I've told the story from what I remember that night, but what do you remember from that night? That at the win there.
Oh, I just remember you took the same approach as they did with ordering everything, but you just went crazy on the dessert menu. You went for like 4 or 5 desserts, if I remember correctly.
You know, yeah, desserts are good. Can't help myself sometimes, you know.
No, okay, but from the bar though, that was funny. I think Ola was keen for, like, Odsen was interested in trying something new while he was in Vegas, and I think he got to try something new without going into details.
You're referring to the story where he went up to the 2 girls at the bar and he told the one girl, "I like your tits." Is that the story you're referring to?
I didn't know he said that, but if you were there, like you went.
I was not. No, I was standing there. I turned around, looked at you guys, and walked back over. I'm like, I'm done. I can't do it. I can't do this anymore. Like, I don't want to know what exactly is happening. And then he left 5 minutes later. So like, I don't. Not sure what. Yeah. I mean, I have an idea what happened. I think I know what happened, but.
Yeah, I think it was a fairy tale ending. So all good.
Yeah, me and you were sitting there like, what just happened, man? Where did he go right now?
Yeah, it was kind of ridiculous, but I mean, you're in Vegas. You're allowed to do some things you don't do regularly.
Do you have a Vegas degen story? Everyone has a good Vegas degen story that you'd like to tell. Maybe your parents are watching. Maybe you don't want to get into the details of the specific Vegas degen story you have.
I could tell a Vegas degen story, but it's not about me. It's about Felix this summer. I don't know if I should tell it, but
Felix getting degen?
I mean, he's not a degen, but it's sort of like a funny story. But it's just, you just realize that it's never going to happen to us, just the same as like final tabling WSOP main event.
All right, let's hear this.
So he went to the UFC fight with McGregor. He bet some money on McGregor, who won that fight. And he goes out to parties until like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. And on the way back, he figures out he has $300 in his pocket. And you see a guy play kind of big on the blackjack tables. So he just put some money placed behind him. And every time that guy got a blackjack, he gave Felix $1,000. And Felix starts running up his own stack. I think he gets up to like a couple of 5 to 10K. Then he starts playing with his own box. And this guy, like every time he gets a blackjack, he keeps giving Felix dollars. And I don't know how long he kept on playing for, but eventually the other guy left. And after giving Felix about $10,000, Felix got a blackjack. I got to say that. And Felix gave $1,000 back, and the other guy got really, really happy when that happened. So it was a good atmosphere, and by the time Felix decided to take a night, he had turned his $300 into $80,000, just like anyone would do on a drunken night.
How good does Felix run? Honest to God, how good can one guy run, man? He runs good online for years, runs good, and gets second in the main event. Although I mean, he's a good player too, obviously. But you got to run good for these things to happen.
But you see what he do? He just puts himself into like profitable situations. Like that guy giving him 1K makes him like plus EV, even though he's playing blackjack.
That's true. He's like a conservative nit, I guess. He's a conservative degen, if that's even possible to be a conservative degen, like a nitty degen.
Yeah, I mean, I think he has full control, and like you can see after winning $5.2 million, he hasn't changed anything at all in the way he is, the way he spends money, or anything like that. So there's like no way of anything catastrophe. I don't know how to say that. Like any catastrophe to happen with Felix or like stuff like that. He is well balanced.
Yeah, no catastrophic launching of the money like some tournament players have been known to do in the past.
No, I asked him, like, I wanted to get him to play some high rollers and stuff like that. So, but he doesn't seem interested in that. It's like, why? I don't want the fame. I don't think the fields are that soft anymore. Basically, see no value in that.
Really interesting. So he won't even sell action for the high rollers and stuff like that.
Well, he played the one drop because I think it was a good event with giving money to charity, and also the field wasn't that tough. But I know he sold off some percent there, so it's not like he played it for 100K himself.
Felix's star's name, Dice Man, was Zip Ahoy.
Yeah, Ship Ahoy with like a set.
Another fucking short stacker. Now it makes more sense because I know he's living with Liqqa.
Yeah, I had to change the settings. I put like restrictions to buy in with more than minimum buy-in on his account.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I had to do that because I said like he's losing EV.
Man, he probably was. I'm gonna talk more about your. I'm gonna talk more about the EdgeBet actually, but then we're gonna get into some PLO stuff. Jim Morrison, hi Joey Ingram, new listeners. Sorry, advertisement on Grindr. I hope so. I hope my advertisement's on the app Grindr, man. That'd be pretty sweet. Shout out to Grindr, man. Shout out to all my men getting other love from other men out there, man. Much love to you guys. So, whenever I have people on the podcast, I'm a little hesitant to have people on the podcast who have like always have like something to promote. That's sort of their main focus on the podcast, because especially with your thing, it could be something that people are going to listen to this. They're going to hear you. They're going to think that you're a smart kid. You're doing what you're doing. And then they're going to be inclined to want to throw some money on EdgeBet or get into sports betting. Maybe they never sports bet before and they want to try it out. So talk. What would you say to that? Like it's because there's going to be people who watch this out there who are going to want to try it out.
Yeah, I mean, so for everyone who wants to try it out, first of all, you need to go into edgebet.net, and then you create an account that's going to take you 30 seconds, and it's absolutely free to use. We don't take any credit card, no payment or anything before after 2 weeks. You simply choose the bookmakers you want to have. If you want to have, if you're living in the US, it's quite limited. You're only going to get 5 dimes and Bovada. But if you live outside of US, you have a wide variety of bookmakers. Like I said, there is a downside to it, and there is a reason why I can share this and not just keep it to myself. That is because after you've been betting for a while, or it doesn't even need to be a while. It can take a week, it can take 2 weeks, it can take 2 months, it can take 6 months. The bookmakers will lower your betting limits. And up until that, by following basically the advices given on EdgeBet, we do everything simple. So for example, let me log into EdgeBet and I'll share something right now. So do you have any bookmakers, Joey?
I don't sports bet, Poppy. You're not getting me in. The only time my sports bet was in Twitch chat the other day when a guy who works at UPS said he's 7-1 against his bookie and told us bet Colorado plus 17. We bet Colorado plus 17 and we won the bet. And I'm retired from sports betting. That's it.
He got 7-1 on a plus 17 bet?
No, he said he works at UPS, the United States Postal Service, and he makes a good living, according to him, allegedly in the chat. And he has a bookie, a local bookie he found working at UPS, and he's 7-1 against his bookie. So we decided that guy's advice was worth taking, and we took his bet, and we won.
Oh, I mean, that's great, but 8 bets, I don't think that's a good sample to judge someone from.
I don't know, man. He won us to Colorado plus 17, right? It was Colorado plus 17. Yeah, I think we had a bunch of people were in the chat that night. A bunch of other people made money. So
that's good.
So you're saying I shouldn't take that guy's advice in the future? That's what you're trying to tell me right now.
I wouldn't follow someone who says he's 7-1 versus his bookmaker, because that's 8 bets, and I'm sure he's placed a lot more than 8 bets. But I don't know.
Yeah, we were DJing it up that night. So.
Yeah, okay, but when you log into EdgeBet, then you have to choose some bookmakers, and then we will show you the bets. And we will tell you, for example, when the match starts, what match it is, what kind of sport it is, and what league it is within that sport. We'll tell you what type of odds type it is. If it's just, for example, a handicap spread, if it's an over or under, then we'll tell you what bookmaker it is, what type of odds you're going to get. We'll even tell you how often you will win the bet, and we'll tell you how much to bet regarding your bankroll. And we will tell you what kind of edge you have on the bet. And the edge is the same as expected return on investment.
So in theory, I'm sure sports bettors don't do this, but in theory, you'd go on there, you could potentially select the higher bets, the higher edge bet that come up over time, and you could decide to bet on those. Or I'm sure some people just fire away and bet all the suggested picks that you might have sometimes.
Yeah, so we have two also different selections. We have something we call low risk edges, and on low risk edges, we only show bets up to 4 in odds. So they will have a minimum of 25% chance to win. And the edge there is also a minimum 3%. So you're going to have over 3% ROI pretty much for sure if the sample is big enough. And what we did last year is we wanted to check, to simulate some bets. So over a period of 4 months, we started a bot to simulate bets. And we gave it $10,000. We used the formula we used on our site to see how much you should wager, depending on how much you have and the bets and all those things. And within 4 months, it turned the $10,000 into $382,000, averaging 4.8% per bet. So, I mean, I know it's profitable. If I didn't think it was profitable, I wouldn't drop my poker career and invest money into this and put so much time into it.
That's a really good point. I mean, for those that don't know, Liqqa played a lot of poker. He was pretty involved in poker, and then he certainly just stopped playing. And I was like, where'd you go? Where'd you stop playing? And he's like, oh, I'm sports betting now. So I'm sure if you're getting into sports betting this heavy and this much, I mean, it's probably, it has to be going well. Otherwise, you go back and play poker. You just said you played a Zoom session the other day, you made 12K in the whatever hand sample size you played. So it's like I'm almost positive you can still beat poker at the 500 Zoom minimum level. So
yeah, I mean, I've been playing some poker, but from May, I just decided well, if I'm going to make this business work, and if I'm going to that was my main thing. I wanted to improve the business. And if I'm going to improve the business, play poker and sports bet myself, there won't be any time at all for other things in life. Because in order to beat the games now, you need to do some theory, you need to put in the hours, and yeah, I mean, if you're going to make okay money at least.
No, I agree completely. I feel like in poker, you got to really be invested. You got to be invested your mental energy, you got to be invested, your time, your focus, your work. And especially if you're trying to get to that level, if you're already at that level, there's some argument that you could maintain without that much effort, but I still feel like to do really well consistently, you're going to need to put in effort both on and off the tables at a pretty high level.
Yeah, I agree. And for the ones who it's not like at the top level, I think you're gonna have to play more sites. So what I did this year, I basically grinded 888, iPoker, party, full tilt, and stars. Maybe I'm missing something, but I figured like stars is the only one where my EV wasn't really good. But on the other sides, I was just able to basically crush and have a pretty high EV BB 100.
The old untracked Euro sites, huh?
The so-called untracked Euro sites. I don't know if they are untracked, but
they're untracked. Those are some of my favorite sites, puppy.
Really? Have you played any on 888 or? Oh, you don't want to go into that?
Maybe we played some. I like 888. It's a great site. I don't like I wish there's more games. I wish there was more action sometimes, but I wish the software was like PokerStars, exactly like PokerStars. But I always find it kind of funny how a lot of poker players out there, you can talk about playing 888 poker maybe from a place where it might be against TOS, but when you start talking about playing PokerStars from a place against TOS, then people oh my fucking God, what are you talking about playing from America? That's just insane. But yet the same guys are playing on 888 poker who might say that same thing. It never made sense to me. So
no, are you based in Chicago now?
I'm still based in Chicago. I'm in the Chicago, the cold, snowy Chicago right now, but I don't know how much longer I'm going to stay here. I got to go someplace warm. I just can't handle the
Yeah, that's my goal, is like to, in a couple of years, retire, go somewhere warm, watch sport, live by the beach.
What do you mean retire?
Yeah, I don't know, like work with EdgeBet. It feels like retirement because I just enjoy it so much. So it's not like an actual job where I have to wake up 8 o'clock in the morning. I can sort of be more in control of my own hours. And because of when the sports bet takes place, it's usually later hours.
So in a way, doing something like the podcast, you come on here, you talk about the site. This sort of helps build that business part of things and helps get you closer to retirement, it sounds like.
Well, if that was the case, I would come on air every day. I don't think people find me that interesting, though, but if they did.
Well, I'm sure we got a lot of sports betting DJs out there. I never realized it until I started talking about sports betting from time to time. And all of my DJs in Twitch, they like start going crazy. They're like, oh my God, Kentucky +7. Like they just start throwing out all these bets and all these. I'm just like, oh my God, these guys it's a pretty big industry. Like I don't sports bet. I don't really have friends that do that I talk to them about, but I know it's like it's a $1 billion industry, right?
Oh yeah. And what I think people don't know is that they obviously don't know better themselves than the bookmakers, but you don't need to know better than the bookmakers in order to make money. If you know how to read the market, it's really easy. And the way Pinnacle Sports works is they allow everyone to bet with them. They have the highest betting limits and they adjust the odds as the bets come in. So let's say I log on now, I place a bet of $10,000 on Bulls tonight versus, I don't know, they're probably not playing tonight, but if I bet Bulls tonight versus someone, they will lower the odds on Bulls and they will increase on the other side. And because the odds is always adjusting, looking for deviations is going to be profitable.
So the odds are always adjusting on pretty much all the markets then?
On the Asian markets, but the European bookmakers, they have an odds setter, and he is like, no, I think these are going to be favorites, and I know that most people are betting on their favorite teams, and they know what teams they're getting most bets in on, so they will automatically just price the odds lower on those bets, and then it's a good bet betting against the favorable team for most players. Sorry.
It's okay. The my voice and your coughing, I don't know what's happening now. Is it cold in London right now?
It's freezing. It's getting close to -degrees now, but I just need to close the door.
All right. Got me till I get some shout outs here. Who we got? Y Piranha, what up, puppy? Vernon D-Backs, what up, kid? Brad Bresnicki says no. He's making a lot more getting you to sign up for EdgeBet. Allie Bro, puppy. What's up, Allie Bro? My young.
I have this super drink. It's gonna make me fresh.
Sambuca.
Yeah, let's call it Sambuca Extra Defense. It's like for immune system.
Interesting. Do they have that in America? Is that only a European thing?
I probably do. I just went to the pharmacy and got something.
Hmm.
My girlfriend told me if I got sick, she wouldn't see me. So, pretty strict rules there.
Why wouldn't she? She doesn't want to get sick?
Yeah. She has said she doesn't want to get sick this whole winter, but I always get sick, so it could work though. If I want to break, like I can just tell her I'm sick.
Isn't your girlfriend supposed to be there for you when you're sick, making you soup, bringing you some bringing you flowers, giving you a nice making you feel better, right?
Well, that would be the GTO girlfriend, but I hope she's not watching.
Is she watching?
I hope she's not.
Uh-oh. She's from Romania, you said. RGG, shout the Jungle Man for the Romanian girl grind.
Yeah, he inspired me there.
Is that true?
No.
I was gonna say, is that true? Does she have a Romanian / British accent, or is it like a Romanian accent?
It's like a mix, because she went to school there and she has a lot of British friends, but there's some mix in there.
So how'd you meet her then?
The famous app.
Tinder.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh wow! You always hear stories about these Tinder meetups, and most of the stories end after a very brief period of time. So you met her on Tinder. When you meet her, what do you tell her you do? Like a poker player, you're a sports bettor? Like going on a date with a girl and be like, "Yeah, I bet sports." You're like, you're kind of a degenerate.
No.
You know what I mean? Like what do you say about what you do for yourself or for your future, your career?
Yeah. So I said I run a startup. I play some poker, and I've done some investments within real estate. That's what I said. But I don't know. It was a bit awkward. She called me a geek when I said I play poker, and I was like, yeah, I know it's a bit geeky, but it's a really fun game, and I don't care if you think if it's related to geeks.
She was negging you, huh? That's what they call that in the artistry community, I believe. She negged you.
She negged me.
Yeah,
and it worked.
I do that all the time. Geek, dork. I do that. I use that all the time. Shout out to anyone I've used that on, by the way. It works pretty well. So she called you a geek, and then what? You're like, I'm gonna prove you that I'm not that geeky.
Yeah. Well, no, that didn't happen. No, I just met her, and it went well. Started seeing each other, and yeah. I think she likes the flexibility I have. Like I can travel a lot. I can go out and eat whenever I want to go out and eat. The only thing is the weekends is quite limited.
The weekends, that's when you're doing a lot of NFL stuff. And what else is on the weekends? Soccer, basketball, and
yeah. So it's basically soccer from 12 o'clock here in London and up until 6 to 8 o'clock, depending on which day it is. And NFL starts 6 and goes on until 4:30 on Sundays. And NBA, I mean, it's always NBA every night. Starts around midnight and goes on to 4 or 5. But I don't really have to watch all of the games, and I just go to bed whenever I feel tired.
So I guess for the site, how are you getting to these conclusions in all these instances? Do you have a team of people, or is it just at this point you've figured some sort of algorithm out where it just sort of tells you, input the information and it brings you a result, or how does that work?
Yeah, so the site started out with me and a friend. I told him what I was doing. I said I was doing it all manually, and he was like, "What? Why are you doing it manually? You can automate all of this." And I said no. So he started doing that. We just did it on a really simple basis, and it worked for us. It worked for some of my friends. So we said okay, maybe we can make this into business. So from there on, we started putting together, it was just the two of us, but he needed some help because there was a lot of coding, a lot of things to do. And he got another friend to come along. So we started up basically the company with the three of us. And then we have gotten another one also who came along, who has been starting up some businesses before, and is just giving us more advices on how to show this in a friendly way so more people can understand it. Because it's quite difficult, and we're still working on that to explain it in an easy way.
So I guess in this instance, why wouldn't more people who are doing well at sports betting do something like this then? Why wouldn't they create a business like this where they can they're making money from people, they're not actually risking any money themselves. Like, what's the downside? So, for instance, if Haralabab, because I'll use Haralabab an example because he's been a podcast guest, and he's the only person I know that's really big into sports betting and debatably, allegedly does well. Why wouldn't he be doing this too? Like, if you're able to just make money from other people, why wouldn't those guys want to do that too?
So I think Haralabos, for example, he goes more into analyzes himself. He breaks games down and does the hard work. What we do is just follow him when he is betting. He moves the lines, and then we'll find deviations, and then we'll find bets. So we'll look for deviations from bets that Haralabos and those guys are putting on the big shots.
Brennan says, is the money he's making mainly from sports betting or from the signups on a site? Seems like if you have a system that works, that can earn you millions, you'd keep it to yourself.
Yeah, so I still haven't made any money from EdgeBet. It's, you know how it is when you start up a business, whatever you're making, you put back in so you can develop your site. And that's expensive. So the money I've made this year has mainly been only from sports betting and poker. Probably like 80-90% of the money has come from sports betting.
I can't pronounce your name on YouTube. Stan Miguel says he is so limited by the bookmakers and wants to stick it to them. That's why he shares.
Well, that's part of the reason why. I think it's unfair what they're doing, and it's easy to exploit. I want to create a name for myself. I hopefully want to create a business that can make others also make money. So I think that is a good way to start off something. I mean, you need to have the passion. You need to have an idea that works. And I think I have both of them. The only problem is that you will get limited. So it's not something that can last forever, but maybe that can lead to a change and the bookmakers will be sharper. And then I'll find out a new way to beat them.
It sort of sounds like you don't want to be like a gambler for much longer. Like you'd ideally like to be making your money from not the gambling world, whether it's investments or having different businesses. Like that's where it seems like you ultimately want to get to.
Well, I mean, I've never gambled as much as like, for example, this last weekend was my biggest betting weekend ever. I haven't looked at the numbers of what my turnover was, but I know it was the most that I've bet on any weekend.
So at some point you still want to always pretty much bet then, you're saying?
I mean, as long as it's profitable, it's the same as poker. Yeah, when you can make money playing poker and you know you're profitable and you love what you're doing, why would you stop?
No. Vernon says, what does Liqqa think about sports betting touts like Vegas Dave and Steve Stevens?
What are those?
Touts, the guys who like are telling you what to pick or what to bet, or the loud guys on Twitter, the infomercials, that are like, you gotta bet Detroit +7 tonight, Steve. It's a bet of the year. It's my lock of the week. Maybe like those guys. So maybe that's how they do it.
I don't like them, most of them, because from what I can relate to, like we have a couple of those in Norway, Sweden, who is like fronting betting companies, and none of them are profitable, but they fool players to follow their tips that they're losing money on. But they have a big name and they're experts, so people are just blindly following them.
How do they get a big name though if they're not winning money? Like how do you?
So I can only speak for what's been happening in Scandinavia, and those players people are either being experts in TV, so like commenting on soccer, doing analysis in halftime, or they're previous football players.
It sounds like we're both drinking water, man. We're both losing our bodies, losing our minds today, kid.
I don't know about you, but it's not water.
Oh, you're drinking the Sambuca.
No, it's just water.
It sounds like I could do this. I could use EdgeBet. I could find the most GTO pick that you guys suggest, and then I could be one of the guys that sells it. It sounds like.
I mean, everyone can use it. Just looking at because what we also do is we track. So if you place a bet, you can put it into EdgeBet, and we'll keep a track of how you're doing. You're not placing any bets through us, but it's just like a bookkeeper. And you need to do that in order to update your bankroll and stuff like that. Once the game is over, it automatically updates, and you'll see like if you won or lost money, you can look at your ROI, and yeah, So what we can look for this year, like our users have been averaging over 5% per bet.
Allegedly.
Yeah, from what's been putting into the site.
Does that mean you're winning after the juice?
Oh, so there's practically no juice. The only sites that takes juice is the betting exchanges, like Betfair, for example.
Oh, you can bet on sites where they don't take a vig?
Yeah, there's no vig. There's no vig in Asia or anywhere like in Europe.
The untracked Asian betting market?
I mean, it's tracked most of them. I use the site that Turit spoke on here. It's like a bet broker that gives you access to 6 or 7 different bookmakers. And there's only like Betfair, Matchbook who takes a vig. But
so what was the Chowrun site? Chowrun, aka Mikhail Turitz. What's the site that is called?
It's called sportmarket.com.
Sport Market. So you sign up, you have an account on there, and then you place your bet on there, and that allows you to get access to these different markets.
Yeah. So I mean, it's great because the payout in Asia is usually like 97 to 98%, but it's really competitive. It's rarely like any deviations, but there is some. So I've been using EdgeBet some there, but I've also been trying to figure out a way to take EdgeBet to the next level, and that's what I've been making most of my money, because that's the best that's showing on EdgeBet, and the deviations in the Asian market are, you're not going to be able to place that much on those bets. But in Europe, for example, you could be betting ton on the edges occurring, like even on Premier League. I can compare with PokeStars. PokeStars just launched their, what's it called? Bookmaker. And when it came out, they were quite competitive in terms of Premier League. So I was just betting Premier League there. I was going to see how long I can keep on betting. And I bet 4 bets of $10,000 each. And I won 3 out of 4. And when I was going to bet my 5th bet, I could only bet like $100.
They showered you, huh? They sent you the showers and told you can't bet that much.
Yeah, so I sent them an email. I was like, hey, what's going on? I'm a long-time player. Why is my betting limit so small? And all that. And they said, like, due to the timing of your bets and the odds you're getting on your bets, we don't think we can beat you in the long run. For that reason, our traders have oh Jesus, have decided to lower your betting limits.
I guess that kind of sucks, huh? I guess you can find someone else to. That's where you find other people, right? That's where you find the mule sort of thing, is what Haralabos called them. Haralabos.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that, but it's just a big hassle creating new accounts and dealing with all that. So what I'm doing now is basically just educating them and making sure they know what to do at any time, which is basically just like using EdgeBet and using the low risk edges that we just recently launched on EdgeBet.
Larry Friendly on Twitch says, you know that movie 2 for the Money, where Al Pacino goes to the Gamblers Anonymous meetings and hands out his sportsbook business cards? Yeah. That's just reminds me right here. You're going to the Gamblers Anonymous here in the Twitch and YouTube world, and you're handing them the card to the kingdom and saying, come play some bets.
I mean, if they want to try it out, if they want to make money instead of losing money, if that's what they've been doing, I know it's.
And that's kind of what I think. So I was thinking about that, is that I'm sure a lot of the guys that are watching this that sports bet probably aren't winning sports bettors. So them using this is probably going to give them a better chance to win than them using like their mind or like their heart or their soul or their body. Like this is probably going to actually help them out. So instead of losing money, they can debatably have a chance at winning some money for the first time.
Yeah, and I like what will happen with some of them is some of them will lose money. It's just unavoidable if you're not having a big volume. I can only speak for myself, but this month I've only had 1 losing month, and that was during the summer.
So if you bet enough, games, if you put enough volume, similar to poker, it sounds like, where once you get to the long term and the variance sort of subsides, you'll be able to be a winning player.
Yeah, and I mean, people come to me after 100 bets. It's like, hey, I have like a -8% ROI now. What am I doing wrong? And I look through their bets and I'm like, I'm sorry, but I don't think you're doing anything wrong. I think it's just being unlucky. Because there is variance involved there. Whereas others come to me as like, hey, I tripled my money within a week, like a whole bankroll. And they're like, oh, this really works. I'm so happy for you. Like, I'm so happy that I signed up. And then they come back maybe like 2 days later. It's like, hey, I just lost like 10% of my bankroll. What did I do wrong again? So it's people are extremely result oriented.
Of course, right?
Yeah. There's unfortunately no easy way to make millions, but you got to put yourself in a profitable.
Why isn't there an easy way to make millions? I mean, you know, it doesn't seem fair to people out there in the world that there's not an easy way to make $1 million.
I know. I'm trying though. I'm gonna hopefully like make some people millionaires with this.
Is that a goal for yourself then to become, if you're not already, is that a goal for yourself to potentially reach that point?
I think I've made 7 figures this year. But I want others also to experience the same thing. And I think maybe in order to get to 7 figures, you need to have some capital, but you can definitely get there. And this is a good way to increase your bankroll because there's nowhere in the earth like you can get this return on your money. Because you can basically get 5% every single day on your money.
All right,
well, that was a lot of talk and everything. Like, and if anyone have any questions, like, feel free to email me at jonas@edgebet.net, and I will explain everything.
You got all the questions. You guys have like a forum and stuff like that set up?
Yeah, we have a forum on our site. There's not much activity there, but there is one. And when you're into our site, it's like a question mark. So if you press that question mark, you can live chat with anyone from the team.
Do you have a free Monday Night Football pick tonight for all my teachers out there?
Yeah, I mean, I bet yesterday. I bet Bills plus 7.5.
Bills plus 7.5. You heard it, guys. Put your house on the line, boys. Put it out there. Sell your car. Sell your wife. Sell your kids. Get the money on the line, man. What's the EdgeBet say for this bet? What is the probability of you making money on this one?
So right now it looks good. Like the line as Bills is now favorites on plus 7, and they were slightly favorites on plus 7.5, but now even plus 7 would be a good bet if you can get close to even money.
There you go, boys. Load it up, man. Load it up. Let's talk some PLO, man. We play a lot of PLO. So
yeah.
So from what I remember about your PLO, you were mainly a heads-up guy, but did you switch to 6-max in 2012? Is that when you started playing more 6-max?
Yeah, so the 2011, I think, because that's when 2006 or 11, when I moved to London, basically. So that was sort of the time where poker started to dry up. There was not that much action anymore. There was so many bum hunters.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw all this, like, players that I love to get action from heads up playing 6-max. So I thought, like, okay, maybe I'll try this out. So I just basically jumped into the 25-50 games, started short stacking, and made some money. I was hanging out a lot with Turkin89.
Turkin89. Very old school PLO guy. Didn't really play much past 2011, 2012, though.
No, he retired in 2012, I think it was.
That makes sense. So I never saw him then, yeah.
Yeah, retired as a 23 or 24-year-old, like anyone would. So, I mean, he helped me some with the 6-max game, and yeah, I just got into it and I started liking it. It was way more flexible because you could just jump into games, whereas on heads up, you can sit on your computer for like 2 hours and just wait for action with no action, which is not fun.
Yeah, I mean, you know, with people out in poker only see the landscape of high stakes PLO right now, you can't imagine how it was in 2012. I mean, I'm sure years before that, it was probably exceptionally good too, but this is no Zoom, and there were fun players galore at 25, 50, 10, 20. 50. I mean, it has to even be crazier back in the day, but like I was one of the people who was fully playing all day, most days, bum hunting. Or I was kind of bum hunting, but then I sort of went crazy and started playing all the tables, which in retrospect wasn't smart. But there was a lot of games to be played in if you seeked it out between 510 and 5100 on stars in those days.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was pretty much always like 4 to 8 tables running of 25-50 on stars. And there was a couple on full tilt. I didn't play 888 or any other side back then, which is probably stupid of me, but I was just so happy with what was available on those sites.
Yeah, I never really logged off star. I just played stars at the time because there was always I mean, there was always people, even if, because I used to start a lot of six max games at the, I would just sit at the six max games, and then when somebody who was like an end boss sat me, I'd sit out, of course. But you'd get a lot of fun players. So it's before scripts, so you'd get. I was looking through my database. There'd be sometimes you'd be playing three-handed with a fun player at 5100 for like 20 hands. No one came. It was this is like I can't believe. I still can't believe this is actually how it was. Nowadays, you can't do that at 1-2 without the game filling up instantly. Like you're never gonna play three-handed with even if maybe late at night, but.
Yeah, that's right. Like it was great. Like we started a lot of games back together, like, but usually like 3, 6, 5, 10, I think it was.
Yeah, we played a lot of. I mean, when I was playing 2, 4, 3, 6, 5, 10, then I was just like, I pretty much want to play against anybody and get games going. Because if you get the games going, people want to people come to the games. That's
yeah, for sure. It was great, and I think there's a lot more people now who knows that and they're starting games, and that's the reason why poker isn't dead yet, because there's still some people who is willing to go in that battle, but there's not too many. You see how it is now in 510 plus. It's like it's always scare, or at least what it's been like for the was like half a year ago. It's like Scarevoid, Deldar, and another guy. There were like always 2 sitting out of those 3. Like Benjamin Xer was probably the last one. They're always just sitting there, sitting out, and waiting for a guy to join in.
Fucking Benjamin X. Yeah, it seems like the fucking Benjamin fucking X. It seems like the way that the online poker six max games working out. Like that's just it. There's a guy. It's a guy sitting out. There's a guy. Wait, it's like 2 guys sitting out, right? It's 2 guys sit out. 1 guy sits in, and then they wait for a fun player to sit, and then 2 other scripters get the seat in that situation.
Yeah, so I had an instance on the tables with that guy. What's his name? Dan Fiu or something.
Oh, Dan Fu. Oh, Dan Fu.
Yeah.
Okay, we know Dan Fu well here. Okay.
Yeah, so I can't remember exactly how it went down, but he's always like tilting in chat and being rude to fish and stuff like that. And I said something about his seeding script, and I have some like the people who works by EdgeBet. They also have a big network of programmers. And I just really hate the scripters because I think it's so unfair, bad for the game, puts them in such a favorable position.
Mm-hmm.
So I said something like, I'm going to create a seeding script and I'm going to give it out to everyone on 2+2 for free because I think that's the only way we can get rid of it. And he starts tilting in chat and goes like, oh, if you do that, that's the last thing you're going to do and stuff like that. And I just laughed at him. And
wait a second. Dan Fu was threatening your life because you told me we were going to release a public seat script to the whole entire community.
I mean, it was sort of, I think that was what he said, but I don't know. It probably didn't mean anything with it, but it's still like, I was like, what's up with this guy? How can you say such thing on like he's been on the podcast, so people know who he is and stuff like that. So I think that was really low of him, but
wow. Yeah, we had Badger on a podcast, Anthony Mustanim, the other day, and he told us a very similar Dan Fu story of Dan Fu going crazy on him in chat as well, too. So it sounds like you're not alone in this experience with... Yeah,
I guess I got to team up with Badger, get some security.
Maybe, man. I mean, I just think back to those times. The whole entire dynamic was so much different. It was just such a... It was a fun time to be a PLO player.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of fun looking back at things. So if you look back to the prime time of Phil Ivey, Patrick Antonius, and those guys, they were berating people who were sitting out and quitting games when they broke and stuff like that. But they were obviously the best players back then, so they would want to keep on playing anyone. But you see what's happening now with like if a game breaks, it's basically Ben 86 who will keep on playing, and both of the what's it called? Antonius and them, they're just like quitting. Antonius is probably not playing anymore online at all anymore, but he sort of did the same thing, like he berated people for doing because he was the fish in the game when the weaker player left.
Yeah, it's probably like almost smart for the best players in the game to needle everyone that does sit out in that instance. And I mean, you might get some action. Like if you can get yourself any more action or get someone to sit in against you, well, then that's probably going to be a plus EV thing to have happen from your standpoint in that situation.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's good that not bad that people are quitting games when the games are breaking, but I think also it's how it's become. Like if there's no value and you're playing above your bankroll because you're taking a shot or anything like that, there's just no value. Or if you have other tables that you're happy with the action on, there's no reason to just push the volume when you're probably not plus EV even.
Yeah, I think that's what's the biggest thing that's pretty much changed in online poker is that people are very much concerned with what's plus EV and what spot has value, and they don't really want to venture into anything that might be neutral to minus to slightly plus EV. Like there's really no, there's not too much battling. There are some people who do have some heart and they do like to, get out there and play, but I think overall, for the most part, those people have the guys who did have battle sort of have, I don't know, they feel like they're not playing much poker. Maybe they're not winning as more because they have too much battle, but it seems like a lot of those guys, maybe they don't have anybody to battle, so they focus on doing other things, and only the nits who have a different approach to the game. I mean, you have to, like, I would imagine like there's some online guys who, when they see the way the ecosystem is now, where at the regular tables, there's 2 guys sitting out, like they probably see that and they might play once a week and they're like, I'm even going to fucking waste my time to even bother playing anything online right now, because this is just ridiculous what the way is right now.
Yeah, and if you look at the previous high rollers, like they have so much money, so it's not worth it grinding like 10, 20, 5, 10 or something like that. Yeah. Because there's pretty much no high stakes action going anymore. Like every now and then it comes a player who brings a tournament or something like that.
Yeah, we had the brief Isildur run where he ran it up. I think he might be on another upswing, but then he allegedly lost most of his money cross-booking, so that sort of killed the action for a little bit of time. But when he was playing those 200, 400, 100, 200 games, there was a lot of action, and it sort of had a little trickle-down effect too. I think it also coincided with WCOOP at the time as well. But even after WCOOP ended, there was still action. So it was fun to see, but now it looks like it might be going away for a little bit of time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, everyone that's been battling, I remember back in the days, it was the Fisherman guy, Poker Party. Isildur has always been a fighter, but he was pretty much playing the highest stakes all the time. But all of those guys who used to battle is either now become end bosses or they've been bust. They become busto, or changed at least from online poker to live poker, but I don't know anything about that. So I think you gotta have the heart to do it, and I like people who does that. But for people who look at poker as sort of an investment and they want to have a safe future, it's a lot of ups and downs, pushing small edges and playing high stakes and tons of tables and volume in maybe minus IV games.
Yeah, in theory, I guess you can't really grind it back when you battle at 25-50. And you can't really battle at 25-50 anymore because they took away the zoom, so you can't really have these 3 tables, 3-handed matches anymore because it's not really an option. So, and when you do battle at 25-50, there's really, like, who knows when it'll run again, so you can't necessarily make it back. You might have to drop down 10-20, so it's kind of like...
Yeah, it's made, what can I say, shot taking a lot more risky. Like, because now if you're going to take a shot and high stake 6 max games, you got to play 100, 200 or 200, 400.
Right.
But I think what a lot of people have done wrong before, at least, I don't know what's going on right now, is to sell actions. And so let's say, for example, we have 5, 10, 20 grinders. We know we're all profitable. We're not rolled to play 100, 200. Why don't play 100, 200 and just sell out? So we play 20% within each of us. I think some people has done it and done really well recently.
Mm-hmm.
But I think more people should have done that because there are so many good players out there.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised. I feel like a lot of people just aren't used to the idea of selling a piece to play higher stakes. They're like, well, if I'm going to sell a piece, why would I play higher stakes? If I'm only going to have 20% of myself at like 1-2, why wouldn't I just play 10-20? Like, what would be the upside for me playing these stakes or playing that high?
So obviously the upside would be that you get a piece in return. So sometimes you're not even playing, but you're getting in volume in other people who's like playing in good games at 100, 200, and you basically have a much higher win rate than you playing 20, 40 without even playing.
Well, that makes sense, actually. Yeah, that's a good point. I guess it's like if it's like a community, if it's like well, I know a lot of high stakes guys do that, where it's like an automatic 20% swap with the other player. So even when you're not playing, then you get action from those guys.
Yeah, and the same goes for tournaments. Like, I think a lot of people should consider swapping more and playing the high rollers and stuff like that. But I don't think people really don't. They're not too bothered, and yeah, I think they're missing out a lot of EV there. But
why is that? Just because it's...
I mean, 100K for a tournament is steep. and or 50K or whatever it is, like even playing the EPTs. A lot of people could do that a lot cheaper. Let's say you're a team of 4 people, you go to play EPT Barcelona, you can save money on even getting an Airbnb together. So you're all living together, you're all talking, you're all doing some preparations before the tournament, so you're like ready to play, your mind is in the right mindset, and you don't have the massive swings because you only have like, let's say you do 40% in yourself and you have 20% in the 2 others, and the 3 others. Yeah, 3 others. So you can do stuff like that to even out the variance and yeah, just push the EV. But you would need good players.
I would imagine there's some guys probably doing something like that. Although I don't think we've talked about that with anybody on the podcast before, any of the tournament guys.
Yeah, I don't know, like I don't even play tournaments, or I played a couple of EPTs, but just the Barcelona. And I think the ones who's doing it won't share it because it's good for them, and they obviously wouldn't want some of the good online tournament grinders who is not rolled to play the tour themselves to start doing this, because that would make the fields harder.
Well, that's true, yeah. If that's actually a good point. You're kind of giving an idea to the good lower stakes guys who can't afford to play higher.
Yeah, and obviously, like if what you can also do, I'm sure, like there's a lot of forums. There's 2+2. You can sell like pieces in yourself. But I think it's, if you're selling pieces in yourself and you're charging a markup, I think you're missing out on EV. If you're selling without a markup, you're missing out on EV. If you're selling out with markup, it's really hard to sell if you don't have any wrestles for yourself. So if you don't have any like live wrestles for yourself or anything like that, it's going to be tough. If you have a lot of online wrestles also, you could very easily be rolled, but I don't know if you want to take the risk. So then you would find someone who is either in a group with you that you would want to help, and they would want to help you to improve your games. So you want to create more. I would like to see that there were more groups like this.
SBC T10 says future of poker is teams, maybe even present.
Yeah, I think so as well. Like, because right now there's, like I said, it's so expensive to take a shot at 100, 200, and 200, 400 and lose nowadays, even if, like if you're a 510 or 1020 grinder. If you're playing 1, 2, 2, 4, I mean, you're basically just grinding the rake back. But even there, you could work with someone else and you can take shots at 510, 1020, and you're basically playing the same stakes, paying less rake, but you can get into so much better games.
Interesting idea. I got to think about that one more. Someone's been mentioning your avatar. Yeah, what exactly? So for those who don't know Liqqa's avatar, he's got one of the most blocked avatars of all time on PokerStars. What exactly is your avatar?
Yeah, let me show you the picture.
Let me see this thing, man.
Where can I send it to you? I'll send it to you on Facebook.
Yeah, it'll work.
Oh yeah. So I basically zoomed in on the teeth of the guy to the right.
Oh, all right. Let me throw this up here on the screen for the poppies.
And I don't know, I came across this picture when I was 14 and we just had a big laugh about it. And yeah, I think I created my Stars account when I was 16 and just like kept it ever since.
Nope, that's not it. Nope. I don't know how to get it up now. I'm a noob at this, guys.
You did something there. I could see something on your screen.
Yeah, I'm trying to get this to work. Oh, that was screen 2. All right, I guess this is the picture right here. I can't really blow it up, though.
It's not a big picture, that's a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just, if you Google 2 kids smoking, it's going to be the first thing popping up.
So this was your avatar right here, this kid on the right-hand side.
Yeah. His teeth.
This guy tilts me so hard right now just looking at him.
Yeah. You're not the first one.
You had the avatar for a long time, right?
Yeah, since I created the account. So it's been on for like 8 years.
I want to see the avatar. I want to see it just with the guy's face blocked out. I don't want to see it with anything else in it. Why is this kid smoking? He's like 7 years old.
Yeah, I know.
Wow, man. They must be. Are they British? They look British to me.
I have no idea where they are. Like, I don't know any of them, or I don't know anything about them. I don't know. I just saw that picture on the forum or something when I was a kid and laughed.
Bart says, Joe, this is fucking cool. My first live show of you. When you come to Adam to smoke pot, I don't know what that means, puppy. I think you're trying to invite me for some sort of love affair. And if that's the case, I'm not gonna be able to do it, man. Let me see what else I got on the list here, puppy.
Probably found you on Grindr.
Yeah, you find me on Grindr for sure. Yeah. Allegedly, my podcast is being advertised on Grindr. So, let's see. Yeah, that's what they said, right? That's what someone told me.
Gotta be because of you and Lafort.
Certainly might be because of me and Lafort. I could see them using Lafort's podcast episode as like the main face of the advertisement on Grindr. So,
I see.
Oh, he said when you come to Amsterdam to smoke pot. So you want to smoke pot with me in Amsterdam together. And then what do we do after that? We smoke pot, then what? Where do we go then? What do we do? Tell us more about this date. Is it like a date? I like the date. That's fine. That sounds like a good date to me. What's like what do you think a GTO first date is? I was thinking about this today.
What I was doing on my Tinder dates is I took someone to like a bar, just get some drinks, and there's like this perfect place that's right next to where I live. It's like a Japanese bar.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of interesting drinks, and it's just so easy. You can also get some sushi if they're hungry and stuff like that. So it was always quite easy to just go there, meet up. If you don't like them or anything, you're like, okay, nice, I'll see you again next time. And then it was like chill lounge music, so you can talk, but it's not like awkward when you're not talking and stuff like that. So I think that's okay.
And then take them back to the house. Of course, that would be the potential, right?
Oh, I don't do that on first dates. I have class. I'm joking. Yeah, if you'd like to do that, that's an opportunity as well.
Interesting. So I went with this strategy where, and I still might do this now. So if anyone's watching this, I use a strategy and you know what's happening. A three place idea where you start the place at a place for dinner, nice place, get a couple margaritas, you get the drinks flowing, maybe get some quesadilla, well, not quesadillas, but you get some preferably some type of sushi place with some seafood or some type of steak item. And then if things are going well, after a couple of margaritas, you then take it to another place, a local lounge, a local place. That gives you some time to walk, gives you some time to. I feel like that leave-in to go to a second place sort of. I don't know, like you can ask them, like, hey, let's go here, and then if they say no, you get the fuck out of there. Because sometimes you never know, you might be feeling it, they might not be feeling it, so they want to take off. This gives you a chance to not waste the time in the lounge part of the activity if they're not interested, sort of thing. But you think you can maybe overcome that disinterest by having the one place be the one place? Yeah,
I mean, that's a good strategy, but also I don't know how much time you want to spend with someone the first time, and I definitely wouldn't. Yeah, I guess it leaves you the option so you can invite them if you like them, but if not, you just like leave it at the first place, I guess.
Yeah, well, the idea is that after the second place, you get a couple more margaritas, or depending on if you don't want to get too drunk, then you would just, don't drink any more margaritas. And then you take them to either a beach, if you have a beach setting by you. That's also, I mean, you need a lot of things in this one. So I had a perfect setup in Vancouver where my place I live was on the water. There was a nice place to walk on the beach, a couple nice restaurants, and then a couple nice bars and lounges. So it was sort of like the perfect setup there in Yaletown.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds GTO.
Getting excited now, man. We talked about 2012. I got into retrospect mode. I got into the old mode, man. Let me take some questions from you guys on YouTube and Twitch. Liam says, why did Jonas choose to live in London?
So when I was 19, I moved to Thailand. I lived in Phuket for 8 months.
You lived in Thailand when you were 19?
Yeah.
Give me a Thailand story. Don't lie. Give me a Thailand story. Don't lie.
There's not too many interesting stories, actually. Like coming down, like one of the guys, it's nothing like insane or anything, but we came down. We just rented a hotel for the first week because we wanted to figure out where we want to live. We wanted to find like the perfect place and all that. It was me and 3 other poker players, all Norwegian and all like 20, 21. And first thing that happens is we're going to have a competition in a pool that was like 1 meter deep or something. We're going to go dolphin swimming underwater, like swimming without using your hands. So what I did was like I swam without using my hands and I broke my tooth. That was like the first night, second day. And obviously we heard a lot of stories about the lady boys and all that things.
Allegedly.
So we went out and...
With a broken tooth. You went out with a broken tooth.
Oh, yeah. And we went out, we had some drinks and stuff like that, obviously. And on the way back, one of the guys have found like a girl. And we go like, that's not a girl and nothing. And I mean, he was drunk, he was a bit rude. So he just like went for it. So he checked if it was a girl or a guy. And like we said, it was a guy. And like that was the only bad experience we had with like, or interesting experience like that.
That was the first night you went out ladyboy grinding, and that was the only interesting experience you had.
Okay, so obviously there were more things going on though. So there was there's a Swedish bar there or nightclub called White Room and Grabbarn och Grus. So we got to know some of the bartenders there, and we decided to throw some parties and stuff like that. So we had a lot of Scandinavian parties where like you had a lot of girls and pool parties and things got wild.
Okay. Were these like were these Scandinavian girls or were these Thailand girls?
So they were Scandinavian. Like yeah, that was the only place where you can basically find non-Aussies or non-Thai girls.
So you missed out on the country. You missed the countryland women. So you decided to forego the Thai women that were offered in Thailand. And
it's just a thing about living there. I think it was so annoying in the end. Like whenever you went out, someone just grabbed your arm and was like, "Come with me." Like, "Oh, I like you." And
what? Really? Wait, that's how it works there?
Yeah, I mean that's what you can walk through the bar streets or anything without having a girl grabbing you and like wanting you to come with her. And I think that's just like, no, that I don't think that's how it should be though.
I don't think that should be either, but that's like a poker player's dream. A lot of poker players I know.
Well, when you know someone is just after you because they, obviously, I think most of them were prostitutes. So I think they liked you. They wanted you to pay for sex, basically.
How much does that cost over there? Like, what do they pay? What do you pay? You wouldn't know. What some of your friends?
I mean, I obviously don't know, but
me either, man. I don't know nothing. Okay, how much did your friends pay?
A friend, I don't know actually. I think
how much did people you meet out talking about it pay? You think? Because we know you didn't pay.
So I think the price was about 1,000 baht or something like that, which is $25-30 or something like that.
$25 or $30?
Yeah.
Wow. I know my buddy Ali Bro, who is our resident Thailand hooker aficionado, is in the chat. He might have some better things in prices. So yeah, it doesn't sound like, I mean, but you're 19. Like when I was 19 and if I was in Thailand, I would have been anything, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've been quite nitty in life. Like I was quite scared for things to happen when I was drunk. So sometimes I was keeping it on the down low. I bought a watch, I remember, down there. And the first night I went out, I woke up the next day and it was gone. And I remember I had just had some flashbacks from that night going from some places, and I tried to find those places again and I never found them, but they were like super cool from what I remember.
So you bought a watch and you got the watch stolen in Thailand.
Yeah, I mean, I was 19, so I bought like a fake Breitling watch.
Oh, we've all bought a fake Breitling watch, kid. Listen, you have not. Listen, guys, if you want to get a watch and you want to look like you the man, you want to go around stunting, you want to go around acting like you the shit, you go to Craigslist, go to eBay, you go to Google, look up the fake Breitling watches. You get one for yourself between $25-100, something like that. And you're going to be the man. You're going to be walking around looking like you. But what kind of watch you got, man? I got a Breitling. Isn't that like 5 or 10K? Yeah. Like that's some young kid strategy right there. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah. That was just, I just thought to myself, okay, maybe I should be more careful when I'm out and stuff like that. Because I also heard there were some things happening. But
What do you mean?
Yeah. We had an incident once. We were gonna have a surprise party for a friend.
Okay.
I don't know. The story shouldn't probably come out, but
A surprise party. Okay.
yeah. So we like spoke to a guy. He was gonna arrange a party and all that. We're gonna pay him. How much is that? Like 500 to $1,000 or something. And we just like, okay, maybe not throwing a party just after moving into a place is a good thing, because we don't really know him, we don't know the people he will bring, we don't know what's going to happen. We have a lot of stuff here and stuff like that. So we decided to cancel, and he was like, no, do you know what people, you can't just cancel when you have an agreement here and stuff like that. So we were like, why? He was like, do you know what people like charge to kill here? And we're like, what? And he's like, $100. And we're like, okay, fuck's sake, we just, again, what do you want? We just paid, and we just like sort of cut off that guy.
Wow. So you met a guy to throw a party. You tried canceling. He told you, do you know how much it costs to get people killed around here?
He got really angry, and we never had any agreements basically. So we just like paid like 25% of what we were going to pay him, if I remember correctly, and it was all good. But that was a bit scary.
You're not selling Thailand to me very well right now. We got.
Well, I'm not loving Thailand. I haven't been back afterwards, but
fuck. It sounds like if you don't like paying for sex, Thailand's not a good place for you.
I mean, someone goes to Thailand and they find a normal girl and stuff like that, but we didn't really. None of us did that. Oh, or actually, one guy found a Swedish girl and he's still together with her. They've been together for like 5 years now. Live happily in Norway, and life's good.
Wow. So like a friend of yours?
Yeah, one of the guys I was living with.
Cool. Is he a poker player too?
He used to be. Like he used to play online. Now I think he focuses on live.
What do you play in Stars? PLO?
He had a run in Thailand where he just started playing some PLO. Like he used to play No Limit, but he made some money the first month and was just really happy with that and decided to take holiday for 6 months.
That's what you should do. What's the screen name?
It was on Full Tilt. It was Run in God. So RUNN space ENGOD. And he just went on this massive heater. I remember like he was playing next to me and he played 25-50 versus White Lime. And he took White Lime for like 75K or 100K or something. And just played like absolutely crazy. And White Lime goes like sits out and he writes in chat in capital letters like, who the fuck are you? And he just writes his name in chat like Peter something.
So White Lime thought he was getting the PLO shuffle pulled on him where someone was playing on a different account and was ponying him up.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was quite funny to watch that because he was running good, but he was also spot on when every time he said like he has blockers, he called and he had blockers and stuff like that. It was just insane. This
guy sounds like a prodigy.
Yeah, I mean, he has a big heart, and when he grinds, he grinds.
Do you know that guy Bojo, the guy from Norway? He plays PLO sometimes on PokerStars.
Yeah, I mean, I know of him. I don't know him good in person, but I mean, that kid has a lot of heart, and I heard some stories about the live games and stuff like that. How he's just spins up stacks and is not afraid. His BPIP is pretty high.
BPIP through the roof, kid.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's so much fun for a guy like that. You can just see how much he enjoys it, like taking a flop and just like killing it, and then always people is worried that he might connect with any flop there is, especially in PLO. And when they play live, it's some quite deep stacks sometimes in Norway.
I wonder if he plays in tank tops. I know he's the kind of guy that likes to take his shirt off more than most people like to take their shirt off. So I wonder if he's like a big tank top guy too.
Yeah, I think he could wear a tank top on occasion. Like, but
I want to get that guy on a podcast, man.
That'd be a lot of fun.
I want to talk about his life. His life's fun. His life seems fun.
Yeah, for sure he is. He used to have. I think it was one of the biggest like football talents in Norway for a period.
Yeah, I heard that.
I don't know what happened. But
it sounds like he got into the degenerate lifestyle of gambling, women, drugs. I mean, allegedly, of course, but
yeah, I mean, that could very well be.
Things happen when you're young. You're focusing on football. You're focusing on a sport. You get older. You figure out these other things.
That's life. You grow up and you find new things. That's what makes life so great.
That's very true. I like grabbing this microphone, man. It's just in my fucking face. I just like playing with this thing, grabbing it. So sometimes people probably notice I grab that a lot.
The grinder comment makes more and more sense now.
Listen, man, I admit it. I took an ad out on Grindr. Took some ad space. I put a picture of me and LaFord at EDC up there in our spirit hoods, and that's the advertisement that's used on the app Grindr, where we talk about the Poker Life podcast on there. So shout out to anyone that might be watching from Grindr. If you want to get in touch with Jonas, of course, hit him up on Facebook. He'd love to talk to you. Want to get in touch with me, of course, I'd love to talk to you too. If you have any more questions, guys, ask them away. Let me see. Let me scroll back up here. Ali Bro says, who was it that said he went bareback with the Thai ladies? One of your guests? I think that was actually a guy in chat. I don't think one of our guests has been that non-GTO to do that. So, you don't think so? Why did Jonas choose to live in London? Okay.
I didn't reply to that, I think.
Yeah, why did you choose? You were talking about being 19 in Thailand. Yeah. Why did you choose to live in London?
So we fall out there. So after Thailand, I got back to Norway and I bought my first apartment. I lived in my hometown for like another 6 months and I got super bored. So Felix was messaging me. It's like, hey, don't you think it's quite stupid to live in Norway? Because if we live in Norway, we have to pay 50% tax. Whereas if we live in London, it's no tax. And there's a lot more going on in London than in both of my hometown and his hometown, even though he's from the capital of Norway. So we started like, okay, let's try it out. So just moved over here. And been here since.
Can you just live there forever? Like, do you have to ever leave, or is it? How does it work for Norwegians?
So I can leave whenever I want to leave, but if I leave, I would have to pay tax to Norway again. But I can only spend 60 days in Norway every year if I want to be taxing to Norway. If I want to be taxing to UK. So there is some restrictions, but to me, like, there's not too much interesting going on in Norway apart from my friends living there and family. So I usually go home for Christmas, summer, and some other holidays.
Well, don't they say Scandinavian women are allegedly some of the most beautiful women in the world?
They haven't been to Romania, you know?
No.
Oh.
Okay. My sample size is 3 Romanian girls. One's Jungle Man's girlfriend. Shout out to Jungle Man. One is Jungle Man's girlfriend's friend, who I chatted with for a little bit of time. Shout out to Marlene. And the other one is now your girlfriend. So,
yeah. What do you think?
I'm in. I'm back in on the Romanian girl grind. The RGG is alive and well. I went through a phase, but we've been on the Brazilian girl grind. We've had a lot of podcast guests on. We went to Brazil, met wives, brought them back, imported them to the States. So we've kind of been in the Brazilian girl grind mindset lately.
Okay. Yeah. I saw what's this? No Dice. Do you know him? No Dice Baby?
No Dice Baby, yeah. No Dice Baby, of course.
He's living in Brazil, and he's got a Brazilian girlfriend. They were both in London for the summer. So
I thought he had a Japanese girlfriend. He was living in Japan or something like that.
Well, yeah. Now it's a Brazilian one, and I think they've been together for a while.
Oh, fuck knows, man. Those Brazilians, man. Cola mama, cola mita, papi. You want to love me? Hey, papi, cola mosa. And then they get you, man. They don't speak much English.
All right. I think I got to work on my Spanish lessons.
Why? You didn't understand that?
No, not really. But I had Spanish in school, so I should have understood it.
Well, I made it up, so you probably shouldn't have understood it technically.
Okay, that's good to hear.
I don't know. I just make up my own Spanish. I make up my own other languages, but I don't know. I thought about making up some Swedish, but I don't know any actual Swedish to start my, like, you get a base and then you work off and make up words from that. So.
I see. I mean, Swedish is that's the worst. Never go for the Swedish people.
Why not? It sounds racist.
It is. It's just this rivalry we have, Norway and Sweden. It's like US and Canada. Would you ever copy something that a Canadian has come up with?
I'd put A into my or a boot or something like that.
Really? No, it's just a silly rivalry there is between Norway and Sweden.
So Norway is like the older brother to Sweden or something like that?
I think it was Sweden used to own Norway for some time, and then we got freedom, and it's just been a rivalry. Like, now we got the oil, so we're all settled, and they got IKEA and they got Spotify. So
they got Iseldrun. Come on, they got Isildur.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's true.
Yeah, they got some things going for them.
Yeah. They do. Very sweet.
They got very sweet. The Anon character, man. Kyle Peter says, Joey, why do you not like the German players? I fucking love the German players. Dunphy and MTW Devin, man. Those are my guys, man. I like those guys.
What's up with Devin nowadays?
Davin's finishing school. Got a nice girlfriend. Probably he's going to settle down with her. I'm pretty sure he's living in Berlin. Plays a lot of live games, too. I heard allegedly some big live games that happen over there.
Because he used to be like one of the big guys back when we used to play. Like, he was always in the games, and he was crazy, I remember.
Yeah, he's nuts. When I saw him in Vegas this summer, he told me, he's like, Joe, we're going to try to run it up either to 1 million or bust. I'm like, okay. Or it was there 500K or 1 million. Like, that was his goal with the like 20K. Like, I'm trying to run this up to 500K or bust. I'm like,
oh, in Vegas?
In Vegas this summer. That's what he told me the goal was for the trip. I said, that's awesome.
You saw him always like grinding 2-4, 3-6, the next day 5-10, next day 10-20, next day 25-50. All of a sudden he's 6 stabling 100-200. You're like, what the fuck is going on with this guy?
Yeah, it wasn't like he did it one time. He did it like 10 times. He repeatedly would do it. Like he'd take time off, come back to 3-6. All of a sudden he's playing 51, and you're like, what the?
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough player. You never know where you have him.
Yeah, I like Devin a lot, man.
Yeah, he's a cool guy, or at least I think he's a cool guy. Just judging him on the way he plays poker, he seems interesting.
He's very fun. Devin's kind of like one of those guys. Like when you meet certain poker players, you're always like, man, if I live closer to this person, we'd probably be friends, or we'd have fun, we'd hang out like that. I feel like I meet a lot of PLO guys like that, where you meet them and you're like, man, if it was like the scenarios were different, it'd probably be a lot of fun times happening here. You'd be pretty good friends with that person.
Yeah, I mean, I started speaking with the Sildron back in I don't know when he was playing 2-4.
Wow, 11, 12, something like that.
Yeah, so I started backing him back then, and like I remember how the first night I sent him 10K, and I went out with Felix and some other guys, and I got back, and he was like, "Yo, I got 46K in the account," and he was only playing 2-4 and 3-6.
What? Well, he was playing deep tables back then, so he used to go on 6 meters.
But still, and it was a lot of fun times, like backing him, like put me through so much like stress, because all of a sudden he's like playing super high stakes and not following the stop loss, not playing in games he shouldn't be playing in. So I can say like one story when he was playing 50-100 or something. Me and Felix bought some pieces outside of the stake, and all of a sudden, like I think it stuck like 50K or something, like 50 or 50K, and then he has 50K full, like 50K stacks on one table and pretty much covered by everyone. It's like a massive game, and it was basically no fish in the game. If there was a spot, it was either Liqqa or it was Tricket. So it's like it was a tough game, and it was really deep. And I told him like, dude, like quit. And I couldn't get a hold of him anywhere. So I was like messaging his friend who had to call his phone, and he was like, "Oh, sorry, I wasn't watching Skype or Facebook." And he got out of it, but he lost some.
Yeah, I remember talking with Leo about his shots at 5100, but he never really game selected. Like he's like,
No, so that was the thing. I had to work with him in order to make him understand it's okay to take a shot, but you got to take them at the right time. Because if you keep taking them at those times, like when there's a good, like let's say key comes back or something like that, and you don't have the money, that's a fucking catastrophe. And I know some players have like withdrawn a lot of money, and those are mainly just for if a spot like this comes around again. So they want to have that money available in case anything comes around. That is so good. And now they're just grinding 10-20 or stuff like that.
Yeah. Leo was never really a game selector. I don't remember him ever game selecting in his. I honestly I don't remember ever. I can't remember him ever leaving a game, ever like leaving a game when a game broke. He was the guy that stood at the table. Didn't send anybody heads out. Didn't.
But I mean, that's also why he's become
a
good player. Like he's
what were you gonna say? Wait, what were you gonna say first?
I think I was always gonna say a good player, but I mean, if you've been with him in person, also he has the same attitude. Like he just don't give a fuck. Like if he wants to do something, he does his own way, and he is not afraid to make a mistake if he can learn from it or anything like that.
Yeah, I feel like Odd Odson's really rubbed off on him in that sense too, because ever since he's been mingling with the Odd Odson, he's become.
Yeah, I mean, they are great together. They make each other better.
Like a married couple, man. I have some funny videos of them two arguing in Vegas this summer. It's pretty amusing to watch.
Oh yeah, was that? So Leo just bought some like customized Nike golf clubs, and yeah, I think that was what it was. So when he sent it to Vegas, he didn't put them in like a box or anything. He just sent them in the golf bag.
Really?
So when they got to Vegas, some of his clubs were bent, some were broken, and that's like a, I don't know, $5,000 golf set. And the putter was something he was really happy with, and that didn't break. And all of a sudden, Ola is out in their garden throwing a baseball and then using his putter, and Leo goes mental. And it's like something like this. It's like, you cannot do that. Do you know how hard it is to find a putter, Ola? And Ola goes like, oh, I'm sure like there's plenty of putters out in the world. And Leo just goes raging on him. And Felix is recording this, and it's entertaining to watch, but I can understand Leo's frustration.
I gotta get this video from Felix. Austin, what are you doing? You're retarded. What you don't understand? Like at the putter, you don't fucking throw the putter. You understand? What are you doing? I don't gotta find the fucking putter now, Joe. Ingram, what do you think about this guy? You thinking fucking GTO to throw the fucking putter? He's just punting away his money. I got to go buy a new fucking punter. You understand? Oh,
yeah, I mean,
man.
You know, it's just this great rivalry between them. So this summer, oh, I only have 5%. I need to put in a charger. Give me a second.
Put the charger and get some shots, man. Man, Izzledrum was my biggest voice influence of the summer. I tried to emulate his voice as much as I could. What are you retarded? Joe, you're retarded. You understand? I'm like, yeah, I fucking understand, dude. I got it. I understand. You think I'm dumb? I got it. I understand. Well, he didn't say that too often, but he said that to people a lot. You pay for my shoes, puppy. I showered sleep to listen to podcast instead. Oh, you showered sleep to listen to the podcast instead. Hello, mami. Con la música de Monacita. What's up? All charged up. All charged up and ready to go. Someone said, let me go back up here. Australian says, is there a place that explains all the acronyms used by poker players? It's hard to follow the conversation as a newbie. That's a great fucking idea. No, Poppy, I'm writing that shit down.
Isn't that why we have the chat?
Yeah. Where about in London, Deli asks. GTO area question mark.
Where I live?
Yeah, where you live in London, Poppy. Shout out, the scalpers want to know.
I live like a 5-minute walk from Oxford Circus.
Are you putting in that thing that the other guys use? That skull?
Oh yeah.
The chew.
I have the female version, and I played around with the box.
Skull, right?
Scruff.
Why do people use this stuff, man?
I mean, it's great when you're sitting and playing, watching sport. You're stressed out. You just put it in, and it makes you relax.
All right, London. Where do you live in there?
So I live 5-minute walk from Oxford Circus, which is quite central, and you have just like a ton of restaurants, clubs, shops, and you got everything you want around you just outside the door.
Are you living by yourself? Are you living by yourself, or you got a roommate there?
Yeah. So what happened was I was living with Felix, and then I moved in with my girlfriend. 2 months later.
With your girlfriend. Wait a sec. When did this relationship begin?
All right. So this was my previous one. And 2 months later, I was just like too much arguments and stuff like that. So I just moved out, and I was looking for a place for myself, but I wasn't sure if I was going to move to South Africa, to Brazil. I don't know what's going on in my life. Yeah, I just wasn't sure what I wanted. And then I was looking for a place for myself. I think it was an okay budget, like £2,000 a month.
How much? How much English is? Or I'm sorry, how much USD is that?
That's like 3,000.
Holy fuck! I need to get pounds.
And for a 1-bedroom in central London, I couldn't find anything. So I went on this webpage called Spare Rooms, and I met up with a guy who had a great flat that was only £1,650, so like $2,500. And yeah, I moved in with him. He's like a US guy, and he's into finance, and he does, yeah. So I found a new flatmate, and because I was maybe moving in with Felix again, but he wanted to buy something, and then he couldn't get his like touched together, so he didn't buy anything. And yeah, now Felix moved in with Leo, so Iseldron and Felix live together.
Are they in London too?
Yeah, so they live just right around the corner from where I live.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you pay that for one room, or £1,600 for one? You're sharing the place. 1,600 is what you pay.
Yeah, so that is. I mean, it's a nice flat for London standards. It's 2 floors. I got my own walk-in closet. I got my own ensuite bathroom. I got a small like patio outside my room. It's a decent. Yeah, it's quite newly refurbished and stuff like that. So
yeah, sounds like a pretty GTO location as well.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, I wanted to buy something here, but it's so hard. I can't get any mortgage, and the prices are ridiculous. Like if you want a regular, nothing fancy 2-bedroom flat that is central, you can't get much for $1.5 million. Yeah, that's like my idea also.
Oh, okay.
So what I'm doing apart from poker now with investments is I invest in Norway, because the Norwegian kroner has dropped like 30 to 40%. And the prices it's increased like 5% a year over the last years. But I think it's a good time to invest in Norway now. And I was also able to get a mortgage. So in Norway, I'm paying like 2.2%, and I'm only putting up 35% of the flat, and I'm renting it out. So let's say, for example, I bought a place for 500k pounds. That is $750k dollars, but let's use pounds because it's easier for me to calculate. So I put up 150k. I used 30k to refurbish it, to make it like from a 2-bedroom to a 4-bedroom. I'm now renting it out for 30k a year. So I put up 180k. I have to pay 7k a year, now 6k a year in interest, 3k in other stuff, and I'm left with 21k. So that's over 10% return on my investment.
That sounds like the GTO way to be.
Yeah, and hopefully, I mean, that's just increasing also over the time, because I'm paying less interest, and obviously those 30k was a one-off. So going back to Norway in January, because I ran out of days, and hopefully find 2 more prospects, and then I can get closer to my retirement.
So the goal is, how old are you?
I'm 24.
24?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I don't even know how old you are. I thought you could be older, but the Scandinavian kids that play PLO are still pretty young. So
yeah, Dunk Predator is the same age as me.
DP, shout out to DP.
Yeah, he's the man.
Shout out to his future wife, Madden. Shout out to Ilva. Shout out to the Norwegian crew.
Oh, so you know the guy who went on the the guy who went on the heater in PLO and played that white line match. His ex-girlfriend is Maren, and Maren actually came and visited us in Thailand.
Oh, really? Interesting. Okay. Wow. I wonder how. Oh, yeah. DP said he met her playing live poker.
Yeah, I mean, it's a small world, and the poker community is not that big, but
it's pretty funny. Yeah. Andy Hong says, "What's up, Andy?" He says, "Are there big live PLO home games in London? Seems like a lot of high stakes big bet players live in London, as well as mixed players. I guess those guys from Nosebleed documentary live in London."
Yeah, there is big games, but usually the big game, like the big games, is when the high rollers from Asia is in town. Oh, I heard it was like a game that was 5k, 10k, no limit, with $1 million minimum buy-in.
That's it.
That's it.
Doesn't sound that high to a kid like me. A kid like you, that ain't high. Maybe some of these guys out in chat right now, it's a high stakes game, but not for us, man. It's a low stakes game.
Yeah, man.
Buy-in, I'm in.
Yeah, but I mean, it runs a lot in the casinos, but
they run this game in the casino.
Oh yeah, but it was locked. It was not open for anyone.
Sam Trickett's probably playing that game, huh?
I don't know, but I know there's been really good games, and usually what's open for most people are not private games is Palms and Vic. That is 5-10 and 10-25 with straddles.
Is that
lacking
in
quite good.
Is that in pounds or is that in
Pounds. So you can multiply it by 1.5 to get dollars.
1.5 to get dollars. All right, so 10, 20, 15, 30. No.
So
oh my god! Oh my god! It's almost worse than my geography quiz I did here another day.
50, 100 is 75, 150, and you can divide it by 2 to get 25, 50.
I'm not doing any more math in the podcast. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm straight. You know what? Do you know geography that well, Jonas? I'm done, guys. Don't forget I said whatever I just said. Do you know geography well?
I was okay in Europe, but only Europe. Geography.
How many states can you name in America?
52.
You can name all 52 states in America.
No, I can't. I was just going to impress you that I knew it was 52 or 53 states.
I thought you could name them all. Can you give me a quiz about geography? I want to show off something I just recently purchased. Can you?
Yeah, you're not allowed to Google though, or use this purchase.
I'm not going to Google anything. Tell you what. I'm going to step away from my computer right back here, and I'm going to have you ask me a geography question about Europe. Go ahead.
Okay. What's the capital of Europe?
The capital of Europe.
Yeah.
I don't think that's it's not capital of Europe. What are you talking about?
Oh, you're right. Good job.
I need a specific country question. Ask me where a country is in Europe.
Okay. So where a country is. What's the capital of Romania?
The capital of Romania. That's a great question, Jonas. I'm gonna step away from the computer. Wait, there's 50 states in America. There's not 52.
Oh, is it?
What kind of donk are you,
50,
man?
50 something.
Kidding. All right, there's 50. Okay, so the capital of Romania, right?
Yeah.
Now remember, I'm not Googling anything. Okay, I'm stepping away.
Yeah.
Hold on a second, puppy. Let me go.
Oh.
Hold on a second, kid. Hold on. Let me find this for you.
That's Africa.
Romania. All right. Bucharest.
Yeah.
Did I get it?
Yeah, you did.
Whew. Okay, good. Anytime anyone ever asks me, I just purchased this nice globe. Show
me where you're gonna retire.
Show me where I'm gonna retire. Brazil, no. Thailand, no. I'm gonna retire in San Diego, right here.
Oh, San Diego's great.
Where are you gonna retire at, Poppy?
San Diego is one of the places I've been looking at.
It's a great place.
Yeah,
expensive place to buy some property there, but a great place.
Everything is cheap compared to London, so I'm happy.
That's a goddamn good point, right?
Yeah. Go down to San Diego with like 1.5 million and you can get an okay place at least.
Have you been to San Diego a lot?
Only once. So me and Felix, we did this traveling. So we both watch a lot of NFL. So we decided to go to this. First, I was in Toronto, which is visiting my ex, and we watched Raptors versus Miami Heat. Mm-hmm. And then we went to San Diego. We watched Chargers versus Broncos, and then we went to New York and watched Giants versus Packers. But in San Diego, I mean, it was a lot of fun. I was in charge of booking the hotel, and I just found this hotel that looked a lot better than the others, but I didn't know anything about the location.
What hotel was it?
It was a Hilton hotel, but I can't remember the name.
Was it the one downtown or was it closer to the water?
It was far up, so it was.
Like in Del Mar.
Yeah, Del Mar. It was exactly Del Mar.
I spent the first half of this year mainly living in hotels in San Diego. I know every hotel in San Diego.
So we had like a horse track or something right next to us.
Yep, Del Mar horse track. Yeah.
Yeah, we played some golf. Just basic. There was a golf like a range next to us, so we just shot some there, and then we decided like, dude, we need to go out of here. So we just stayed there a couple of days and went down to Pacific Beach or something. Mm-hmm. And every time we went down to Pacific Beach, the driver asked us if we wanted like a tour guide or anything like that. So he stopped and we got some information about the La Jolla. Yeah, that looked great. So it was like, it would be kind of close to the city, kind of close to the beach. And it just seemed like it had some restaurants and something to it. So that's the place I want to go back and look at.
Yeah, La Jolla is where a lot of the families live. Most of the houses are in La Jolla. There's some houses in PB, but La Jolla is like a more family environment. They got the Jolla Shores, the Cove over there, where it's like a bunch of the cool little restaurants, stuff like that. Not the place I wouldn't stay there, but I would probably stay downtown.
Okay.
Yeah, if I was like,
you got to think of this is when we're going to retire.
In 2 years at 26 years old, I want to live downtown.
Okay. Well,
I mean, it'd either be downtown or PB. So, but Delmar's like
not Del Mar, like further down.
it's a nice place, but it's a little bit far from the action.
It was really quiet. So we moved down to PB after a while, and it was Veterans Day, so we decided to go out.
You got to celebrate Veterans Day here in America as fine veterans of the world. Okay.
Yeah, so we
And
met
military's
up with
big in San Diego. There's a big military contingent down there.
So we met up with some guys, and this guy was an old vet, and he was. Do you know what's his name again? Kenny Powers. Do you know Kenny Powers?
Yeah, the character from Eastbound and Down.
Correct. Yeah. So this guy was exactly like him, and me and Felix has watched that show like many times, and we just like look at each other and we're like, "What the? This is just insane." So we're playing something called cornhole.
Cornhole, beanbags, yeah.
Yeah, and the loser was me and Felix versus him and his friend, and the loser had to buy shots. And we play a couple of rounds. We lose the first 3, and then we start beating them. And then he sort of like wants to back away. And then we play another game, and he got the shots. No, I just went and got the shots. That's how we went, because I didn't want like to create a bad atmosphere or anything. We had a lot of fun. And then he nails like a 3, so they win the 5th or 6th game. And then he just screams out like, "Suck it, nerds!" And everyone just like turns around, and he's just this amazing character, and it was just so much fun. So we'll see. They have some other things in there, and there's this 4 in a row thing. And he is like, "Oh, I'm so good at this. I've never lost." So we play some.
Wait a second. What did you say? A 4 in a row thing?
Yeah, like a big game, because there was a lot of like things going on here. Yeah, like it was a bar, so it's sort of like quiet there.
Yeah.
And so we play me versus him, and it gets to the point that I've beaten him regardless of where he puts the next one. So it's just, "Oh, I don't care. I'm just going to put it here and let you win," which is like fair enough. And then we go on and play something called, what's that called? Rock Band.
Rock Band, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought like I did a really good job. I don't know about the others, but as soon as we're done with Rock Band, the manager or something comes up to us and just like said like, "Hey, I think you had enough drink," and just like kicks us out of the place. So then we go to this alien house, or alien what's it called? Alien
Ale house.
Yeah. And we went there, and I just remembering coming there, and then I looked at my Netar account next day, and I managed to spend like $500 in there.
It's an expensive place. By the firehouse, there was like a top roof place. There's a bottom floor. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think there was a lot of drinks, and we had some pictures on the phones. Next day was like, this is like hangover. But when we woke up the next day, none of us could find our passport, wallet, phone, nothing. So we had to like sort of look through the pictures, figure out what happened.
What?
Yeah. And I found my passport was between my bed and mattress. And my phone was in a drawer, and my wallet was like behind the bed or something. Felix can only find his phone and eventually his passport, but his wallet was gone. So it turns out he put his card in this first place we went, and the card was there, and the bill was unpaid. So he got his card back, but he didn't find his wallet.
Wow.
But we had a night with Kenny Powers guy, which was quite priceless.
Is this the actual Kenny Powers guy?
No, but he was just like him.
Okay, I was like, actual Kenny Powers?
He was just like him.
Did he end up sleeping at the house too, or at the place?
He at least left in it before we woke up.
What? What?
Well, I don't know. Like, I honestly, I don't remember how.
Wait, are you staying in a hotel or Airbnb?
We were staying in a hotel. That night was not too. I don't remember what day it was. But yeah, because it was that day, like every hotel was sort of booked out.
Better.
So we were staying in a hotel. So we found a hotel that they only had one room. So me and Felix shared room that one night, which was the only night we shared, and that happened.
The guy was in the hotel room, Kenny Powers guy.
No. Okay, so I don't know what happened. That's just my.
You don't know. I
have no idea. Like, for all I know, like he had some fun with me while I was sleeping. Because I was in a lot of pain the next day.
Grindr? You find him on Grindr that night or what?
I don't think Grindr was invented back then.
Wow, it's a hell of a night right there, kid.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
you get like a
No, but
contact information for Kenny Powers, like a Facebook or something? Hit him up, add him.
I mean, I wish. Like, if I could fly him to London for any party, like it would be so much fun. He was one of a kind. He was great. It was a fun character.
Wow.
So obviously when he lost, and he lost one, and he agreed to just take one round, and he was like, enough of this Jaeger bombs. We're drinking Patron, just like Kenny Powers would.
I see why you like San Diego. It sounds like you had a pretty good time there, kid.
Yeah, that was fun.
Great place, San Diego. I think I might actually go there for the winter here pretty soon. I'm not sure yet though.
What's going on there?
It's cold in Chicago right now. It's snowing.
Oh, that doesn't sound great.
It's not. It sucks. I mean, it's good to work hard and to focus and stuff like that, but not necessarily good for spending time.
Are you trying to convince me that you're working hard?
It's a good point. I'm certainly not working hard. I mean, I'm working on things, debatably working hard on things. That's for sure.
I see. Okay, I just really need to run to the toilet quickly.
Go ahead, Poppy. Let's get some shout outs, man. Bry Guy Tube. I'm gonna give him a shout out. I'm gonna shower him pretty bad. Who we got? Cage Maker. What up, Cage Maker? Puppy. Yumblula. Alex Bustos. What up, Alex? Waluigi. Number one man. What's up, puppy? Nice to see you as always. Believe it. What up, believe it? Grezeric. Terereski. What up, puppy? Tim Nicole. What up, Tim? Let's see. Who TK? What up, Who TK? Wiley says snowing and chilling in a tank top. Listen, man, I put the tank top on for the podcast. It's very warm in my place. I'm practicing warmth GTO. Quadzilla A says first time I've caught a show live and the GTO approach is paying off. Much love, puppy. My boy Daniel. What's up, Daniel? Calzo. Just watched Rounders for the first time, puppy. Tuning back in now. What's up, Rounder? What up, Calzo? Let's see. Andy Hong. What's up again, Andy Hong? Bart Vanderberg. Believe it. What else we got? Brytube guy, you weird motherfucker. Max Leon 12. What up, Max? Austin Anderson. I'm thinking of studying abroad for school next year. I'm in the U.S. now. What would be your country of choice for 3 months? My country of choice for 3 months for you, Austin Anderson, would be Thailand or Brazil. I don't know, man. I never studied abroad. I'm not sure. Max Leon. What's up, Max? Let's see. Kyle Peters. What up, Kyle? Did it snow in Chi-Town today? It showed this weekend. That's for sure. His teeth are so shiny. Thank you to the dentist. Much love to the dentist, man. The dentist treated me well. What up, Herman? Puppy. Get Ashman. Okay. Joey, what happened with the Wexican? Forgot what that meant. Hey, Joey, new viewer. DZJR says, what up, DZJR, puppy? Let's see. For podcast this week, guys, Wednesday, I'm going to have on Ben Wilanowski, a.k.a. Never Scared B, 4 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday. I'm very excited to have him on Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have the legend of the PLO world, George Arias, a.k.a. Twin Caracas. Wednesday, 4 p.m., one of the most legendary poker players of all time. Jonas, guess who we're having on podcast Friday?
I don't know.
Twin Caracas, a.k.a. George Arias.
Oh, sick.
I know, man. How fucking sick is that, dude?
That's a great guy.
I know, man. He's a fucking legend. I remember, man, when we were doing a Supernova Elite, we'd be grinding, we'd put in 20-hour sessions together playing, multiple tables of 2-4. He was insane. And, I mean, he's not necessarily the most GTO player, but, he's a great guy, and he's a legend in the live poker world and the online poker world. He's a legend in all the fucking world, man. He was playing.
I heard some stories about him. I don't know if it's true.
I've heard some stories about him too. What stories have you heard?
There was something he actually told me in chat that he played some high stakes games in where is he living again? Some crazy place. And now that he is not getting an invite back yet, but it was ridiculously high stakes. And then I saw him playing 2-4. And occasionally, I saw him play some really high stakes and was playing not the same way he was playing usually online. And it was some saying that he was just one of those high rollers who just played on his account and he just sold some dollars to them or something like that.
Interesting. Yeah, he was playing high stakes online in 2005. He was one of the first high stakes players of all time before. And Aura Chaz is anyone who's grinded PLO in the last 10 years in stars has to have played hands. The only people who got excited about him were people who played PLO because you understand this guy's a fucking legend. He's like an older guy who got Supernova Elite. Like, I don't even think he tried. I don't know if he tried. I don't know if he tried to win at the game. I think he just tried to get Supernova Elite. And also he was sponsored by Stars. So he was.
Yeah, I mean, why would Stars sponsor him? I mean, obviously I understand why they would sponsor him because he's a legend. But
I think he's like a legend in the scene in South America.
Oh, that would make sense.
But I actually don't know. It's a good question. I actually don't know why. I'm going to find out. We're going to ask him on the podcast why he was sponsored. I'm excited to have him on. He said his assistant has to get a mic and a microphone and a webcam. So
I mean, look there. He got his own assistants.
He's got to be doing something right. So I'm super excited to have him on, man.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, Stack Jackson says he used to grind NL Hold'em 10-20 with Razzie back in the day, which was a long time ago.
Razzie. I mean, Lex is still grinding like crazy.
Yeah, he's still. I think he's been playing a lot of 2-5 Zoom, trying to get Supernova Elite status here.
Yeah, I mean, but it's so weird. Like him, also, you saw him playing like ridiculously high stakes at some live games, and then all of a sudden he's grinding 1-2 and 2-4. I haven't seen him above 5-10.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of guys took that way. I mean, I think most guys that used to play those high stakes games before just quit before they would ever drop back down and play lower stakes. Like as you get older, you might not things happen. You might spend your money, you might lose your money, you might, make some bad decisions with your money, or you might borrow some money out and not get it back for years.
Yeah, that's true. He seemed like a smart guy, so he's probably not wasted his money, or let's hope.
Well, I know some stories from Lex, so I don't think he's wasted his money. He might make some decisions that he might look back on and say, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But
I see.
I feel like Lex is the kind of guy you can grind. If he could grind a bunch of different things he wanted to. I mean, anytime you got that sick work ethic where you can just put in this massive amount of hours and really focus on doing something, I think you can always have success.
For sure. And you can see also, I don't know, I think it's winning at online now. And even if it's not winning, up until this year, he could make a lot of money just becoming SNE.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he is one of those Stars pros, but I know most of them has like 100% rakeback deal or something close to 100%.
Well, if he's got 100% rakeback deal.
Yeah.
Doing pretty well at PLO if you can make that SNE. I mean, even doing okay at anything if you can.
Yeah, I mean, it's so unfair though, because if they didn't have those deals, like you could get a better rakeback deal for ourselves. Because obviously, guys like him is starting a lot of games.
Well, he's not really. I don't know. I guess is he playing regular tables anymore? Or is he just playing? I think he's playing Zoom mainly.
Okay, mainly maybe it's just Zooming actually.
Yeah.
But anyways, like it would be nice also to give something more back to the grinders, putting in the big effort online and starting those games instead of just giving their pros like EPT trips and stuff like that.
No, nope. Huh? Don't care about those players. No, you got to cut those players' benefits, puppy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know if I need to close my door. Sorry.
Who's that? Who's there? Invite him in, puppy. Who are you? Come on in. When will Chris Moneymaker come to the podcast? Chris Moneymaker is going to be on the podcast in a couple weeks. He's currently in Prague, or he's going to Prague. So Chris Moneymaker will be back on the podcast in a couple weeks after Prague. So, who's there, puppy?
Oh, nothing. It was just like someone is cooking here or something. I got a smell in. That was
someone's cooking. Who's cooking there?
My flatmate and his girlfriend.
Oh, okay. All right, guys. Any more questions? And we're gonna wrap it up. Oh, let me go, man. Oh, man, yeah, man. All right, let's go back to the EdgeBet thing. So people want to check out EdgeBet, edgebet.com.
EdgeBet.
Free trial. How long is the free trial, kid?
2 weeks.
Free trial is a few weeks?
2 weeks. So you get like 14 days from the day you sign up. You just put in your email, and the next step, you put in your email, you put in your password. Next step is you need to choose the bookmakers you want to have. And the next step is you need to put in your bankroll, and we'll guide you through everything on the site.
All right, Poppy, let me make an account right now. Kid, I'm in.
Yeah, do it.
I'm in. Start your free trial now. I want to start my free trial now.
If anyone bet Bills earlier, when I said Bills was a bet on +7, they have a pretty good bet now.
Game start?
No, it's just the lines have moved in Bills' favor.
What'd you say?
Like the lines, the odds has moved in the Bills' favor, so it's dropped even more. So people are, the ones we're following, the Harablos of NFL, has put money on Bills, which is a good sign.
So it started off at Bills +7.5, and now it's Bills what?
+7, but now they're pretty big favorites on +7. It's getting close to even on +6.5 now. So.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, looking good.
The Bills against the Patriots tonight. The undefeated New England Patriots. Not going to be able to do it. I don't know, man. I can't.
I don't mind. I can lose with 5, and I'm still happy. 6 even, 7.
I'm not going to be able to do it, man. Bills against the Patriots.
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
He doesn't have Edelman, you know.
Brandon Bolden, Danny Amendola. I'm in.
Who are them?
Yeah, I know, right? Who are them?
Then I got a shit on Shady McCoy and Sammy Watkins. It's gonna be a walkover. No, but I don't think Bills is probably gonna win about 25% of the time and lose with less than 6.
What about NCAA sports? You do that?
Yeah, I've been doing so. I can pull up my numbers and see.
See. Stripper has arrived, somebody said in the chat. Grinder date in the living room kitchen.
I wish.
The Grinder date's in the house, puppy. What is Grinder? Ever use Grinder?
If I've used Grinder?
So it's just like Tinder, right?
A friend of mine told me it's just like Tinder.
A friend? Was this one of the friends in Thailand that told you about this?
Yeah, let's say that.
Okay.
So when you're saying NCAA, are you talking about basketball or are you talking about football?
I'm not sure. Gregory Grezek asked that. NCAA sports or just pro sports?
Yeah, so I can look. So this year I can see I placed 710 bets on NCAA. I got a stake like a betting of $417,000 and a profit of $55K.
I'll take it, Poppy. I'll take it, man.
Yeah,
you get rake back for this too? Is there like a Supernova Elite of
That would be great. So how the sport market works is they make 0.25% of your turnover, and in return they give you this like great software for free. So you're not getting any of that, but I tried another one. They are giving me 0.125%, which adds up. But their software is not as great, so I've just been sticking with Sport Market until they make some changes, like they've been promising me.
0.125%
of my turnover, so of my bets. But I mean, the numbers is getting pretty big when you're betting as much as.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
So if I just look in this month, I've been betting for $4.5 million.
¿Qué pasa?
Yeah, so like 0.125. That would be like $5K.
So you placed $4.5 million in bets allegedly this month.
Yeah, in November.
Wow. Obviously, you don't win all these bets, right?
No, but I had a bad day today though. While I was on to you, no, like run good, not podcast run good for me.
Well, you got to get the podcast. You can't think of it. You got to get the run good after the podcast, Poppy. Like tonight,
okay.
Bills are probably going to win. You're going to make $25 million or something like that.
Yeah, wish I had more on the game now.
$4.5 million in bets. So, what is the goal when you place $4.5 million in bets? Are you trying to win? Are you trying to win? You're trying to make what out of that? Hopefully.
So this year I've been running at 5.6% ROI. It was ridiculous, like how this year started out. I just had 15K in my account in this Asian bookmaker sport market, and right now I have a profit of 800,000 on this site.
Seems okay.
Yeah, I mean, starting from 15K, that's acceptable.
I mean, it's like, okay, my friend Kyle, he made 75 million betting sports on the Asian market. So like, it's cool. It's all right. The cool guy voice, man. I haven't heard the cool guy voice in a long time, man. That's a great. Oh no, so you made, how much did you make? Oh, that's okay. I mean, like, yeah, I've made like $2 million this year. So it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll make it next year.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully next year. I remember, so the voice came from, it was from the Kings of Cards voice, I call it. He's like an older school guy. And there's a story down in South Florida where my friend's talking about staying in a hotel. And so he tells a story after the hotel story. He's like, yeah, I mean, I stayed on a yacht last night. It wasn't like a nice yacht, but like, it was a yacht. It was fine. And then so we took that voice and we started saying it about everything. Anytime you wanted to sound like you were trying to act like you were cool, we started using that voice about things. And R.I.P. Balka, but I haven't used that voice in a long time. It brought me back.
I didn't think I was trying. I think I was actually cool.
No, I like it. That reminded me of the voice though. That sort of thing you said.
Okay, yeah. So I decided, since you promised me to run good, to put some more money on Bills.
What do you mean? What? Hold on, man. Fuck, how much?
I placed 30K.
No. How do I make a bet on this game now? Hold on a second. Let me.
I'll let you go in on it.
Can I get a piece?
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
I got 202 on Bills plus 6.5.
You have what?
I got 202. So if you bet $1,000, you're going to win $1,020. Like profit. So you're going to a bit more than double your money.
How much?
How much what?
How much? 6.5? You said?
No. So for every $1,000 you bet, you will get 1,020 back in profit. So you will a bit more than double your money.
Ooh, they have PayPal in this country?
We have. I mean, we can do transfers on 888.
No, I can't do that. I can't do it. No.
No, okay. No. NetTeller?
I don't use NetTeller. I don't use. No, I mainly have American money now, puppy. So that can tell you what I'm mainly playing poker these days. Okay. I mainly have American money.
So if I ever come to Vegas, we'll just square it up there.
If you ever come to Vegas?
Yeah.
I'm gonna run this 1,000 up, kid.
Okay. So you're putting on 1,000?
Man, I can't bet against Tom Brady. You fucking tripping, man. Listen, Tom Brady.
Yeah, exactly. You're one of the fishes. You just refuse to bet against your own will because you're like, oh, they got Tom Brady. And yeah, people like you are my problem. Do you think I would put on money if I think it was not a good bet?
It's true.
Come in with 1,000. I'll let you spin it up.
You could be working the Larry Brown shuffle here, the Larry Brown angle, where you're actually bet Patriots, and now you're trying to take my extra $1,000 here.
I'll show you my betting slip.
Let's go. MIA boys in the chat. I know he's one of our resident sports bettors.
But in order to bet Bills 6.5, you need to get over evens in odds. So you need to get more than your money back in order for the bet to be profitable. So everyone knows that.
Everyone doesn't know that.
No, I'm just saying it right now.
Shit, man. Let me think about this. Let me give you a question. Let me think about this. Anyone watching this back in retrospect, you will know if I won or lost this bet. You can just go ahead and Google the results. Yeah. Ali Bro says, should I just bet on all these recommendations on EdgeBet?
Yeah, so all of these recommendations I think is profitable, and the edge is what you're expected to make in profit. So if you have a 3% edge, you're looking to make 3% of your money on average. So the bet is obviously not going to win every time. Every time you win, you're running above EV, like more than you're expected to. And every time you lose, you're running below EV. But I think the higher the edge is, or the higher the Kelly is, the more we recommend you to put on a bet, the better the bet is.
All right, 1K, I'm in. Square up
1K?
Next time we see each other in whatever European or American country we are in, puppy.
Well, let's run it up. Like, I'll make 1K into 20K before I'll see you.
All right, let's do it 1K.
Without like going crazy. We're just having a 1K flat bet.
All right, so I have to root against Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski.
That's true.
All right, fine. 6.5, I'm in. 1,000 to win 1,020, I'm in.
Easiest money you ever made.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I mean, the easiest money I make is at playing PLO, where some of these guys are some of the worst players in the world. So,
easiest money I made was playing you in PLO. Oh, sorry.
What is that? You know what? I'm actually curious about that. Hold on, I'm checking my database right now. Although the database isn't necessarily, it's not like an accurate depiction of if you won or lost money against somebody.
Yeah, I can see if I'm won or lost versus you.
You can't actually check against a certain person though.
Of course you can.
Yeah, it was bang bang right there. I know for sure. Let me check this database. You better be up versus. Let me
just look at your top losers, like the one you lost most versus.
I know you ain't on that list.
Really?
I know you ain't on that list, kid. Taking 30 big blinds from me at a time. Not going to be able to get on that list.
What about the biggest pot you lost?
Oh, damn it. It's so sick. Wait a second. You're right.
Snap.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Never. Well, of course you're up money against me. You won the $91,000 pot at 5,100.
I know.
Only 17,000 of that was mine. So, but you have to be up money. There's absolutely no way you're not up money against me. Oh my god, yeah, that's a good point.
That's a lot of buy-ins for me usually, you know.
That's a really good fucking point right there. Let me check this out. That's a really good fucking point. Bang bang, man. How tragic is that? Yeah, I forgot about that. Just checked stars sports betting. Bills is +7 is 17 to 20.
17 to 20.
Yeah.
That's not. It's close, but it's minus IV.
Liqqa, I'm down $16,600 too because I lost one pot where I put in $17,000. I'm going to show the hand for you guys here on the stream, and look at this, man. It's too sick. Too fucking sick, man. It's too sick. How do I get hold of manager up on here? All right, here we go, guys. So you guys can see this now on here's my hold manager, and so for Liqqa, most wins. 100K versus the liar. Suck it, liar. That's what I'm saying. That's in 47K. Lottie, Gene, Sauce, Zigman, Cleaner. Get out of here. Rafadu. That was the first guy I took a shot against at 5,100. I won the first.
I remember that long guy. There was rumors that was Dur, I remember.
Yeah, I remember long too. I played in all the 5,100 games with him. All right, biggest losers. O'Cropty's 77,000. Look at it. It says short stackers. O'Cropty's, Stickman. Omega, that's embarrassing.
Oh man, I'm also stuck versus Omega.
That's embarrassing right there. Let me find this one. All right, Liqqa. Okay. Well, apparently I won 19,000. I mean, you couldn't have been at the table though.
I could just be folding that hand, which I was 90% of the time.
That's a good point. Let me load this thing up here. All right, can we still see it? Oh no, we can't see it. Oh, here we can see it. Yeah, this was with Armdo. Oh, you were in the middle. Uh-oh. Oh my god. Let's see this. Okay, let's go. We're gonna go. This is an old school podcast, guys. Go over this hand. All right, hold on. Check this out. All right, so Liqqa's got the Jesus seat and Armdo is a 7111 with $81,000 at 5,100. I have 18K. Liqqa's doesn't have a full stack. He's got position on a 7111, which is probably one of the worst players you're gonna encounter at 5,100. I have Liqqa at 3124. He's not as nitty as he alleges on the stream right now. And I'm 2015 because I played a lot of I played 24 tables at 2-4 in the sample too. So I played nitty during those 24 tables. So Armdo min raises, Liqqa flats, I 3-bet double suited aces. We're $18,000 effective. Armdo calls, Liqqa calls. Flops king 4-7. That's not a good flop for aces. Armdo leads out for 1,200 into 3K. Liqqa folds. I call. Turn 4. Oh my god, I remember this hand. Armdo went for the sick check raise on me here. He checks. I bet 4K into 5,400. Or he called. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look at that. River race. He checks, I ship, he calls.
That's a slow play police, just like punishing him.
Oh my god, punished so hard. What a glorious hand. All right, let's see this hand versus you. So this is my most memorable hand. Oh no, it's not the most memorable because that'd be the biggest pot I won. So this is a six-handed hand. It's Zifferin, who was allegedly Guy La Liberté. I have the GC seat on him, 17K deep. Liqqua's 25K deep, out of position against him. And Ronnie R, Ben 86, and Tally Star. It's actually probably a pretty good table. And so I open under the gun with Jack 10, 7, 10, which is very debatable, but I want to play hands against Zifferin in the big blind. But I don't think this table necessarily is going to let me do that for cheap. So in retrospect, maybe I should have folded this hand pre. What do you think? Fold pre? With Ziff in the big blind? Kid.
Nah.
He's not that bad. You're right. I agree. Fold pre? Yeah, fold pre.
I would probably fold that pre.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have got to play this sick pot if I folded pre.
No, I like you for this.
Ronnie, yeah, okay, fuck you. Ronnie flats 4-4-2-2. Ben 86 flats Queen 10-2. Tally Star flats King 9-8-6 double suited. Liqqa squeezes. I don't know about you think this squeeze is really smart in retrospect. Ace King 6 Ace King of diamonds. Your 20.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
I mean, yeah, everyone calls. You're super. Yeah, I still yeah, okay. 18.
Yeah, I mean, everyone calls. It's not going to be great, but I think you can still get away with it.
Well, Ziffer flats, I flat, Ronnie flats, Benny 6 shoves all in. I'm guessing I understand why he shoved all in because
he thought he could make some of you guys fold. That's
right.
What he wrote on 2+2.
Yeah, he's assuming you're gonna back 5-bet and everyone else is gonna fold because we're all 15 or 14K effective behind here.
But even though that was the case, like I don't think it's much of a plus EVs. I mean, he's making some money though. But if everyone else folds, but if it's 3-way, I think it's like it needs to be dominated as queen high suit also.
Yeah, I think also.
And you would assume that there's a lot of like queen 10 jacks like rundowns out there when everyone is calling because people are playing those type of hands. So I think it's a bad shove.
Well, this is when the madness starts. Luckily for you, he shoves because Tally Star calls 8,500. You go all in. Ziffer calls. I call. Ronnie calls. Pot's $91,200. At 50, I remember when I called here, it got back to me. I was like, so I remember this hand because it gets back to me, and we got an all-in, a call, and I have to call 14,000 more, and I'm just like,
what went through your head?
I'm just like, man, I do not want to lose $16,000 in this goddamn game if you liberté in the game. I do not want to lose this huge pot I'm gonna be. But I was like, I can't fold. Obviously, I got to go for the glory.
The D-John came out of you, took the better of you.
I'm not folding. So the equity's pre-flop. You're 26%. Ronnie's 25%. Tally's 22%. And Zifferin's 3% with ace, queen, 7 double suited. Yeah, not a good spot to be in. And Ben's 9%. Flop, ace high, bam. I flop a fucking set too. It's too sick, man.
But you were blocked. There's no time left for you.
I know. It's sick. 0%. I'm 0% on a flop where I flop a set.
Yeah, because you can't get running queen 10, not king queen for a chop either, because all queens is blocked.
It's so fucking sick.
Yeah, so
I think you know what? It's funny. In real time, I saw the 10 and I'm like, oh my God. And then I saw the ace. I'm like, no, fuck. Because I saw the jack and the 10 and I saw the ace. I was just like, oh my God. So
I remember I saw this flop and then I just closed my eyes.
Man, no one's got a flush draw either. And you block the king too, which is like, there's 2 kings and we see a lot of cards. So, and it's and also there's a 7 for straight for to Wily Star. Turns a 5, you're 67%. Ronnie R with the backdoor gut shot. The backdoor gut shot. Wow, that'd be so sick if that goes 5.
17 on a getter. That's
flop piece 5%. The turning goes 17%. 4-4-2 pre-flop. River.
Put up a 6.
6.
Called it.
$91,000 pot your way. God, man, you remember this pot? Is this your biggest pot you played online?
Yeah, by far.
Wow.
I played some 60K pots also.
I think this was when you were first shot taking too.
Yeah, like this was one of my first shots playing 50-100.
I remember you hopped in the game and I was like, oh, okay, here we go. And $91,000 pot your way.
Life's good.
Sad hand right there, puppy. I'm in tears right now. I'm in tears.
That's part of the reason why I'm 200K over EV.
Yeah, I mean that's like a hand for a lifetime right there.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right, 2 podcast guests. If you have to recommend 2 podcast guests for me to have on, who would you recommend?
I would like for you to have on Ike.
Who?
Ike.
Who's that?
Hollywood.
Hollywood Haxton. Oh, Hollywood Haxton.
Yeah.
Hollywood Haxton. Okay. Well.
And Phil Ivey.
Okay, you'd like me to have on Hollywood Haxton and Phil Ivey. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I can do that.
Yeah, I think I would like to know more about Ivey and his sports betting because I think he's doing well there.
I don't think many people are as apt to talk about sports betting as you.
Obviously, he wouldn't share anything, but it would just be interesting.
Yeah.
If he were to share anything at all.
Milan says, this stuff makes me want to be able to play high stakes, Poppy. And that's what it used to do for me. But now it doesn't happen anymore because we don't get to see these kind of things anymore. And people that do play the hands, they've been playing for so long, they don't really post their hands or post results or talk about hands ever. So, yeah.
Life sucks.
Tragic. Impression time? I feel like you already gave us a couple impressions. You gave us an Oddson impression. You gave us a Isildur impression.
Oh, I'm not good with impressions. Like, I've tried a couple of times, and my friends always like makes fun out of me.
Mean friends, man. They should be supporting your impressions, not making fun of your impressions. All right, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up.
All right.
Jonas, I appreciate you coming on, puppy. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed talking with you. I enjoyed learning more about your startup company here, man. I hope it goes well. I'm sure you'll get some new business from all the degenerates out here who watch the podcast.
Yeah,
and
hopefully.
Won't make it this far to hear that they're degenerates.
Why?
What do you mean?
Obviously, they will make it this far.
2 hours and 30 minutes in.
No way they would wrap up this great podcast.
I hope not. They wouldn't wrap it up, man. No. I hope not.
And hopefully, it will be one of the most profitable podcasts for you.
Certainly could be.
$1,000 coming in.
Depending on your view, what you consider profitable or not. Do you consider love profitable?
It is profitable.
Then that would not be my most profitable podcast. Poppington says, Joey, Liqqa said he previously got limits. I like that name. Poppington. Liqqa said previously he got limits on all the major bookies. How was he able to bet 4.5 million allegedly this month? Can you ask him that?
Yeah. So now I'm betting in Asia. I'm betting through the sport market site. So I'm betting on sites as Pinnacle, Bet ICN, IBC Bet, and HSPLOer, because they don't limit you.
Calzo says Bills +5 at 6 to 5.
I have this like calculator, sort of like Ike's
Dream Machine. Shout out to the Dream Machine over there. Jonas got the Dream Machine for sports betting.
I think it's a bit low, but I think you would want to look at higher odds, like the higher spreads. You need to get like minus, I don't know what that odds is like, but so basically for every 100 you put on, you want 90 back on +7, or a bit more than 90 preferably, or over your money back, over doubling your money on +6.5.
I don't know what that means, but there you guys go. You got the information. Your sports bettors might know. I don't know what that means. I got to be honest, guys. I can't lie. I'm not going to front. I'm not going to pretend I understood what that said. And I don't honestly want to know what that means. I don't want to know anymore about this fucking sports betting, man. I don't. I really don't.
After tonight, I'm going to teach you, and you're going to become a millionaire.
All right, fine, man. Go ahead, teach me. That's fine. I don't mind.
Great.
I don't mind. That's fine. I'm in. DZJR says, Joey, hopefully one day you will have me on your podcast. Listen, guys. Let me give you a quick story and we're going to go. Back in the day when I was playing 10 cent, 25 cent full ring on PokerStars back in 2007, 2008, I would walk to McDonald's and get a double cheeseburger, a cup of water, and a small fry for $2.13 with tax. I didn't have much money. I was playing 10 cents, 25 cents. I had $600. You want to keep all my money online. I had $25 offline. I would listen to the 2+2 PokerCast. I love the podcast. They'd always have guests. I'd be like, one day I'm going to be on that podcast, man. One day, like, I want to be a guest. I want them to have fucking me on the podcast. That was a big motivator for me. And then 7 months later, I was on the podcast because I played 600,000 hands in a month and did a big prop bet and got some notoriety from that. Point is, work hard, do well, do something degenerate. I have guests on for all sorts of reasons. So these AGR, one day, Poppy, you'll be on the podcast. Do something great. Do something fun. Do something okay. I don't know. That's it. Share some wisdom.
The moral of the story is like, go to McDonald's, eat McDonald's, and good things will happen to you.
Honestly, man, I think so. That double cheeseburger, a cup of water, and a small fry, that powered me, man. I was living the struggle life. I was like, man, I need to make some fucking money for myself. I need to.
You never look back.
Debatable.
Living the great life now. Going to San Diego, retiring as a sports bettor. I know you're going to do that.
You think so?
Get you hooked.
I feel like I would rather marry for money than be a professional sports bettor.
Yeah, you have the looks, so you can do that.
Oh, puppy, thank you, man. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm conniving enough to do it. You got to be cutthroat to do some things like that, though.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some things you have to cut out.
No Adderall back then, guys. You don't do it. You Adderall guy?
I never used Adderall, but my friend is telling me about his student friends who does it now in like Norway and stuff. People are doing it more often to get through their exams and stuff like that. So I assume it's an up and coming thing.
I don't know if it's maybe it's up and coming in Europe, but it's very
Okay.
established here in America. People,
All right, of course.
I mean, I'm happy I didn't use it when I was a kid because I might have done well in school. I might have got a career. I might be working 9 to 5 right now. No shots at that, but like that,
You don't want to do that.
yeah.
You don't want to be one of those guys. You want to have freedom. You want to do whatever you want to do. You want to take 3 months to go to Australia. You want to go learn surfing. You want to go to the Alps, learn skiing. You want to live the GTO life. You want to go raving.
I do not want to learn surfing or skiing right now. No.
Okay, you want to go raving.
I did that. Well, I guess I've done those things. I moved to Australia for 6 months. I had a 1.5 year stint with raging, and now I'm temporarily retired, except for special occasions. So
you want to become a basketball player. You want to be the first one who became active at basketball and got into the NBA.
That's a good point. I do.
Exactly. You can do that.
Well, the problem with that is I'm white and I'm a bit old. So, but I am pretty good at basketball. But I'm white and I'm old, and those hinder your potential to make it as a professional basketball player.
Sounds like you're describing Dirk Nowitzki.
He's 6'11",
but he's white and he's old.
I'm 6'2". He's 6'11". Yeah, I mean, height matters a lot in basketball too.
Hey, Isaiah Thomas is my height.
Isaiah Thomas, the white Isaiah, the old school Isaiah Thomas, or the current Isaiah Thomas?
The current.
You know all the NBA players. I forgot. You must know them all, right?
Yeah, I'm betting a lot on NBA also.
Give us an NBA bet for tonight too.
So I bet Cavs tonight over 198. And I can see now the line has gone to 199. So slightly moving in my favor. If you want in on that also, I'll get you in on that.
You're a drug dealer, Poppy. This reminds me of my former ketamine dealer. Yeah, you want just try some. Just give it a shot. I'm fine. I'm good.
Yeah, okay.
Try some. I'm kidding. You know, your parents are watching this, or your family. I'm kidding about that. I'm kidding.
It's fine.
I'm just
joking. They compared me to a ketamine dealer also when I was a kid. So
is that true?
No.
You could seem like the little drug dealer type in school.
Yeah, I mean, I was. What did I? No, I didn't deal anything in school. Like there was some guys selling like chips and stuff like that, but I didn't even do that.
You know, I was just talking about this with my little brother the other day. I got an award in 8th grade for being the entrepreneurship award, like a future entrepreneur. Like I was a top entrepreneur in class. This is what I used to do. So this is bad, and I don't know if the statute of limitations has expired on this, but allegedly I would go to some stores and I might get a discount on some candy in the stores. I would then take the candy in a big book bag to my junior high, and I would resell the candy for a profit, and I ended up making a bunch of money to be able to buy myself some cool stuff, even though my mom sort of bought me what I wanted at the time, I believe. But shout out to me. And but I got an award for being one of the future entrepreneur in class, and that was a successful venture.
Living the dream.
Yeah, I agree, man. Can you ask him quickly where's the best place in London to get MDMA from?
I have no idea, but there's always people asking you when you go out on the street. So,
is that true? People ask on the streets?
If you go out, it's just like central at night. Yeah.
Oh, well, you just got to go to the right spots, Waluigi. Please do it at your own risk, please.
Yeah.
Please. I beg you, Candy King Poppy. Yeah, man, that was 7th grade, 6th grade.
Oh yeah, you know, Leo and like Isildron and Odson is calling me for Candy King.
They call you the Candy King?
Yeah, so after Vegas, we went to LA, and apparently I was always eating candy or had my pockets full of candy. That's one day we went out, and I woke up the next day, I had a jacket with 4 pockets, and I had them all full of candy.
What kind of candy we talking here?
Like candy, not anything illegal or drugs.
Nothing against TOS, right?
No.
You're not breaking TOS around here, puppy.
Yeah. So you know what happened afterwards? Just to wrap it up with another story. So after Vegas and then November 9, we went to LA. So first we went to like a golf resort to play some golf. It was like retirement place.
You're talking about LA. It was Felix, Jonas, Droon, Odson, and Johan, right?
Johan didn't join us.
Johan, thank God he didn't go. Fuck's sakes. Okay, good.
Yeah, so it was us. We went to to LA, played some golf for 4 days, just lived in a super boring place, and then we decided to rent a proper villa. So we went to Beverly Hills. We had all these like celebs as neighbors, and the guy told us like, you guys have to be out of the house tomorrow at 7:30. But if you can do that, I'll give you like an extra night for free, and you don't pay for that day. We're like, okay, what's going on? It's like, oh, they're shooting a movie in this house. So we're like, okay, what kind of movie is this? And he come up with like a fancy word, and we're like, sounds like an adult movie. And he's like, well, some people call it that, but don't worry, they're only going to use the living room and one of the bedrooms. So we're like, okay, this is a bit weird, but sure, we'll agree to that. So he sent us away to a golf course. We played some golf, and yeah, when we got back, there was a lot of manuscripts around the house. So we were reading the manuscripts, and it was like some hardcore porn movies that was being shot in this house. You seem really confused.
Slept in the same places after this alleged hardcore porn movie got done shooting?
Yeah, I mean, Felix won the flip, so he got to use that bedroom that was used.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's fucking wrap it up on that note, man. Much love. Jonas, thank you for coming on, sir. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you for bringing me.
I enjoyed the chat. I enjoyed tonight. I'll enjoy our sweat. And guys in the chat, thank you for all the comments, questions. You guys were great. Be back Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern with Ben Wilanowski, a.k.a. Never Scared B. And I'll keep going on Twitter for a little bit. You want to tune into that, go tune in. And that's it. Much love. Jonas, peace out. I'll see you soon.
Peace out. See ya.
Talk with you soon. Adios. Con la moza, a la molosita. See you guys later, man.
Bye.
Yeah, right.